They told me it did. Yeah, I said I had a new follower, and I was like,
Hollywood, here we come, baby! Watch out, Critical Role.
We've got one viewer. Inconsistent viewer, probably. Anyway, welcome back to the Dark Crusade. I'm going to fire through this so I can get started as quick as possible. What happened last time? Fought a wyvern. Made it out of the Ashlands, finally. Encountered group of retinue survivors. Convinced one of the group, Private Drock, to abandon the group because they are zealot crazy heads. Heard 2 war horns in the valley. Lizard folk war horn and was told Istvanian war party war horn.
Yeah.
In the valley, getting ready to set out to try to make it to the mountains. Or mountain. That's it. You're good to go. You have the floor.
Oh, Jesus. We're in the valley right now.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's set out.
Alright. In which direction?
The mountains, brother. Is that to the east from us?
Well, no, we can't go east. There's a war party there.
Well, we gotta get to the mountains, brother.
Around them.
Yeah, let's go around them.
To the north or the south?
Ooh, good point.
North.
Let's go north. I love the north.
The north remembers.
Wait. Hold on.
Ansel opens up his flask and takes a drink of it, and Ursula twirls a leaf she found in her hand, and Siegfried and Averlin just kind of nod their heads. Like, okay, we're going north?
Let's go north.
Alright, you set out towards the north. It is about 5 in the morning right now. Sun has just come up. While you are in a valley, and it's very hilly, and then on each side of the valley, you see great walls rise up, made of glass. Funny enough, like the obsidian glass that you've grown used to.
Right.
It looks completely out of the ordinary here, because the rest of the valley itself is actually, it's green, it's beautiful, it's much cooler, and off in the distance you see this goal that you've been traveling towards for over a month now. It's a great lone mountain.
Ooh.
These hills, they go up and down. They're not super tall, but there's a lot of them, and it's just a constant. You go up a hill, the next hill you go down into a little valley, you go up another hill, about 10-15 feet, go back down into another valley. You are traveling to the north. About 30 minutes pass. And hold on, I need to get my passive perception sheet. About 30 minutes pass. And while you are traveling, Endervin, your roguish ears, you pick up a sound. It sounds like clashing blades coming from in front of you, so to the east, a couple hills and valleys over, maybe 2 or 3 over.
I relay this information to the party. I tell them, hey, something's going on over there.
You estimate
we check it out.
Would be about 300 feet in front of you, going up and down these hills.
Can we do like an inspection check, or can I not see?
You could do a perception check.
Perception check?
Yeah.
Alright. I'm gonna do a perception check.
You can't tell shit. The sound is echoing.
Nope.
The sound is echoing across like all of the hills. You can kind of hear it. You hear what Endervin's talking about. You can hear sounds kind of like steel on steel almost, but you absolutely cannot tell where it's coming from, other than somewhere in front of you.
What do we think, team? I say we
can
check
check it
it.
Sure.
Okay.
You can definitely go check it.
How are you going to do? Are you sticking to the hills? You trying to stick to the valleys? What are you gonna do?
Let's try to stick to the hills, and preferably peek over a hill and see what's... Are they on... We can't tell if it's on it, if they're on a hill or in a valley, right?
No, there's so many like hills and whatnot all around you that the moment you get to the top of a hill, you'll either see like a bigger hill in front of you, or like it'll be lower, but then the hill behind it will be blocking your view.
Right. We can try to get up there then. Look over a hill.
Well, we're gonna have to go that way anyway, right? I would say let's try to stick to the tops of the hills as best as we can.
That's fine, man.
Works for me.
Siegfried nods his head and he says, "I agree, lad. I'd rather be able to see, or try to see what we're going to fight ahead of time versus getting caught in one of these damn valleys and being ambushed."
Sure, perfect ambush territory.
Ansel takes a sip of his flask and Ursula picks some grass. You travel over the hill ahead of you. And when you get to the top of the hill, you see out in front of you, across a wide range, about 200 feet in front of you, going from left to right. At the tops of some of these hills, you can see dead bodies. Lizard folk and, that you recognize now, Istvanian alike, dot some of the tops of these hills.
Hey, did I recognize that wall?
Which one?
The obsidian wall?
No, because nobody's ever really been, or the old stories say that nobody's ever really been out this way, or those who try to travel out this way disappeared.
Alright.
It looks kind of peculiar that you guys have been here for a while, and like all of the grass and like flowers and whatnot have started to show up, and now you've got this just two big obsidian walls on either side of this valley that stretch towards the mountain. So you come to the top of this hill, and just spread out, again, a wide range, left to right, you see dead bodies topping some of these hilltops.
Very nice. That's what I like to see.
Just from what you can see, you see 6 different hilltops, and each one has between 2 to 4 dead bodies on top of it, of both lizard folk and Istvanians. So obviously, fighting has been going on for some time here already.
Makes sense, makes sense.
From what you can see, the mountain is about a mile in front of you.
Mile.
A short walk on a normal day, but you're traveling through a war-torn valley right now, it appears.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I see the side stuff though.
Like right? Like, which direction?
All you can tell is it sounds like it's coming from in front of you to the east.
Okay.
Like
Looking
north
to the
and
north.
east.
Oh.
Well, you've been traveling north and going east at the same time.
Yeah. Huh. Huh.
What do we think? I mean, I say we keep going, right? Like, we're almost to the mountain.
Yeah. Let's see if we can see him first. Yeah.
And,
Keep
like,
going.
they've obviously been fighting for a while.
Yes.
Like, there's
Worst case scenario, we
maybe
catch a
not
few
that many.
stragglers. Yeah. Yeah, let's continue. Let's keep going.
Siegfried nods his head, and he turns to Aberlin, and he says, "Ready your blade, boy." And Aberlin draws his blade, and he looks at Private Drock, and he says, "And you too, Private." And Drock, you see him flip a little switch on his wrath gun, and you hear it start to hum and come to life in his hands.
Very neat. Very cool.
That's dope.
And then Siegfried pulls out his trusty halberd and gets it ready, and then loosens the mace on his hip as well. Are you just traveling straight east?
Are we still like on the hill valley thing? Because we want to
Yeah.
try to stay on the hills as much as possible.
Yeah, you're on a hill right now. It goes down into a valley. You've got just hills. It looks like it's hills almost all the way to the mountain.
Alright, so we got really no choice. There's no, like, advantage, disadvantage.
Yeah, let's keep going.
Okay. Are you just going over the next hill over? Are you trying to go a couple
Yep.
hills over? Just next hill over? All right.
Yeah.
We want to take it hill by hill.
You descend down into the valley, and you climb up to the next hill. You are starting to hear the sound a little bit more prominently now. Every now and then you hear a shout. You'll hear the clash of a blade against another blade, and the telltale sign, the thump of like a hammer hitting armor coming from in front of you. You note that the shouts that you're hearing are not in Common, and Kieran, you note that it's not in Cadian either. It's in Istvanian.
Brother!
You don't recognize what they're saying. You just know, like, okay, that's not Cadian and that's not Common, so.
Okay.
You want to give it a peek?
I want to give it a peek.
We're giving it a peek.
Next hill
Hell
over?
yeah.
Yep.
Who's going to the next hill?
Me.
I'll
Aye.
go.
You all going?
Hmm?
I'm gonna need a stealth check from each of you.
Stealth.
Hell yeah.
Okay, hold on. Let's see.
I gotta look at what my stealth is,
Pull my
actually.
character sheet. Stealth is
Well, there it is.
flat 5. On
Quiet as a mouse.
Oh, my computer.
In order, Ansel.
Alright, stealth check.
Okay, Ansel's good. You're good.
I am?
Yep.
Mine's
Dope!
+2.
Saris is the most quiet. Like you don't even hear Saris.
Oh no.
Oh,
Oh wait, never mind.
Kieran is silent as can be. Siegfried. Oh, that was on a 3 for a second.
Yeah, I saw that!
Is quiet. Averland. Ooh.
Averland.
Well, let's see. Drock. He's good. And then I think I'm just gonna roll a flat d20
I
for
think
this.
this is where we're gonna lose Aberlin.
And Ursula is as quiet as can be. You make it over to the next hill. All of you are at the top of this hill, and you're peeking over. Aberlin is lagging behind a little bit, because he is crunching on every twig in between here and that hill. You peek over the hill, and you see...
A giant.
a biggish battle happening in front of you. You see 6 lizard folk and 6 of the lizard folk that you're used to seeing at this point. However, amongst the 6, you see one more, who is clad in armor that looks like it's been made out of the hide of a salamander. He is pitch black, covered head to toe in armor. He also carries the great salamander hide shield, and he has a big obsidian blade in his one hand. They have surrounded 4 Istvanians clad in chainmail armor, from what you can see from here. You see another Istvanian, a great black armored knight with a great sword. And you see a 6th Istvanian. He looks a little strange. He carries a rapier in one hand, and he has a hood up over his head. And they are surrounded by these lizard folk, but they've kind of formed a protective circle with the chainmail armed ones who are beating them back and trying to thrust their blades into them when they run forward to take a stab at them. The Istvanians are in about a 15-foot circle, and the lizard, and they're running down to them, and when they get shoved back, they kind of step back up the hill. When Averlin finally makes it up to the top of the hill, and he's making all this damn noise, one of the lizard folk turns around and he looks up towards your hill.
That's not good.
Well,
Should I cast Fireball? Oh.
What? You said, should I cast Fireball?
I mean, they're all grouped up.
I mean, I'm not gonna tell you not to cast Fireball. Can we tell if he knows or if he's looking?
He's just looking right now. He heard
Who's
something.
breathing?
That was Johnny.
You can tell he heard something. You don't know if you've been spotted yet.
Okay, everyone duck. Let's duck.
I want to duck.
Everyone duck down. Make yourself small as possible.
You all duck down, and you hear Siegfried reach up and grab Averlin by his shoulder plate, and he rips him to the ground, and you, damn it, boy.
Okay.
I wanna wait a turn.
Wait. Let's wait. Let's see what's happening. Let's
I
let
want to
this play
see
out.
what happens.
Let's let this play out for a little bit.
Waiting on the other side of this hill, a few tense moments pass. And then you hear a clicking noise, like a tongue clicking against the roof of a mouth.
Right.
And you hear from the other side of the hill a slow walk. Like something's coming up from the other side of the hill, towards the top of the hill.
Damn.
I dislike this a lot.
Johnny, please pull back your mic.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Okay. Can we tell where it's coming from?
Yeah, it's coming
I
from
wanna
your
draw-
hill.
Yeah, they're creeping up to the. Yeah. I draw a weapon. Draw my hammer.
You draw your hammer
Draw
out.
my weapon too.
You draw your weapon out. Siegfried takes out the obsidian dagger, and he sets his halberd off to the side. And he looks over at you, Kieran, and he says, "If he gets to the top of the hill, take out his legs."
Hell yeah,
Is
brother.
there anything like around us, like landscape-wise?
There's a few more hills to your left and right, but you would have to probably make a mad dash to them to try to get over. And you'd have to
staying
descend.
up here then.
You'd have to descend down into the valley, probably, and try to get around it as well.
Okay. I'm gonna ready my weapon.
All right, so the three of you have your weapons ready.
Yes, sir.
Ansel kind of skulks lower, and Ursula You can see she has her hand outstretched. She's ready to cast a spell. And Private Drock, he actually squeezes down lower as well, and he lowers his wrath gun because it's making a humming noise. Another moment passes, and from the top of the hill, when you look up, you see a shadow. A lone lizard folk is standing at the top of the hill. He's got his salamander shield in one hand, and he has a club in the other. And he's looking out to the west from the top of the hill, back towards where you just came from. He's not looking down at you yet.
Right.
Can I... Do we have any, like, rogues here?
It's me. I'm the rogue. Hello.
Do we have any way of, like, grabbing this fucking lizard guy and, like...
I don't want to grapple him, but I can definitely probably sneak attack him. He's not looking at me. How far away is he from me right now?
I want to, like, pull him down on our side of the hill and
You are
interrogate this motherfucker.
You're about 15 feet from him currently.
15 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Can I, like, stealth up to him and attempt to, like, get his leg, like, stab his legs?
Yeah, you can roll a stealth to see if you can sneak up on him.
Okay. 15.
He does not see you coming. The small little elf that you are, you creep up. The small grass is acting like tall grass for you right now.
Assassin's Creed.
You are within melee range.
Okay, I'm gonna hit him with the old sneak attack.
I think it's the first
You're
time
gonna
you've ever done
one-two
this.
I think it is the first time I've done this when they're actually unaware and we're not in, like, middle of combat.
Can't wait for you to hit him for 100.
Hold on. I gotta remember what my sneak attack
How does
damage
this work
is.
for your, like, character?
I have a rapier, so I'm gonna stab at him.
Yeah, but, like, you have to have, because you're a rogue, you have to have, like, a move that...
Yeah, it's called sneak attack. I
Is it
do extra
good?
damage. I do a ton of extra damage. Let's see. So I'm not an assassin, so I don't auto crit, but I do. I guess I'm on a roll to attack then. Can I roll to attack?
Yeah, go
So
ahead.
this guy's one of the lizard folk?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess.
He's like a regular one, though, right?
Do I have advantage since he can't see me?
Yes.
Is that how that works?
Yep, you're at
Okay.
advantage.
Okay, I'm at advantage, and since I'm at advantage, I get sneak attack. So
So how far are we from this lizard guy? 15 feet
15
still?
feet.
Yep, he
Okay,
snuck
so
up.
We're within range, but
Mhm.
okay.
did that roll cope? Oh, wait.
Oh, that's a natural
Oh.
20.
Okay, well,
Are you going
Nat
lethal
20.
or non-lethal here?
we can't speak to lizard folk. We don't know their language. So should I?
We
Oh, yeah,
can't.
we can't.
No,
Kill
we
him!
don't.
Hold
I'm
on.
gonna kill him. I'll go lethal.
Hold on,
Wait.
hold on.
What are you doing?
Well, Warlock has a spell. Let me see if it works. It's comprehend languages.
That would work.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah,
Yes.
let me look and make sure it is, like, I can understand what he said.
If so, I want to go non-lethal.
Yes, that's why I'm gonna go look right now.
And Eric has that too, I think. You
Yeah,
should have
for the
it.
duration, you understand the literal meaning of any spoken language that you hear. You also understand any spoken okay, that just repeats itself. You also understand any written language that you see, but you must be touching the surface of which the words are written. So yeah, I can understand his
I'll roll
language.
non-lethal damage with my sneak attack.
Alright.
And if we can, like, basically subdue him where he can't put up a fight anymore, yeah, then I'll cast
And that's
it.
a
Otherwise,
that's a
we'll
nat
end up
20,
just-
so I roll damage die twice,
Otherwise,
right?
we'll just slit
Yep.
his throat.
Okay, hold
kill
on.
him.
I gotta look at what my damage die.
And I'll help you.
2d8 plus 5 piercing. Do I not take the modifier in the second one? Is that how that works?
No, you do.
Okay.
I'm just gonna interrogate this guy about 100 feet from the rest of his party.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm gonna. Whoop. Okay, that's one roll. That's 2 rolls, and then I'm gonna do my sneak attack damage, which is 3d6. Let me just pop 3d6 in there. And as I do this, I'm gonna, like, clasp my hand over his mouth.
You dash up and using your rapier, you take his feet out from under him. You don't really cut him, but you take him by surprise, and as he's in the air, you grab his fucking mouth and you slam him into the ground, and you start dragging him back. He's flailing, but he can't speak, he can't make any noise, and you get him back amongst your group.
Yes. Alright.
I look over at Winkham's,
Here
and I
is
kind of
what
toss
we
him the
do.
guy, and I go, he's all yours.
Here's what we do.
That's menacing.
What do you guys think of this idea?
Uh-oh.
I don't know if I like this, but let's
We
do it.
are gonna tell him to bring his the lizard folk down. There is a what are the people called that we picked him up? We just picked him up.
Iron and Fire Drake.
Iron and the Fire
Yes.
Drakes.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you guys think about telling the
No.
lizard people that hey, there's fire drakes that are going from on the south side of this hill
No.
No.
and clearing out a way for us to go?
That was your
we
plan?
could ask him where his people
I don't
are.
think that would sit with my guy.
No, that would
I'm
not sit
chaotic
well with
neutral,
neutral, but I don't
Winkham's.
know about that.
That would not sit well with Winkham's.
I would, yeah, I'd have to oppose it, otherwise I'd basically, like, go against my oath.
But what if we get him to move, like, we have to, like, threaten him to move his troops, right? Like, hey, there's something over there that we have to go check out, right? Like, we gotta get him to move his troops.
To, like, get him out of the way, but not fight him.
Right, we're not trying to fight him.
Right. How are we going to do that? What are we going to tell him?
In the event that we do have to fight, how many lizards are down in the valley?
6.
You saw
Six.
7. You saw 6
7.
regulars and then 1 in the great armor.
One that looks really spooky.
We don't want to fight that guy, I don't think.
No, but in the event that it does, I'd like to know how many we're going against.
No, that's fair.
So what's our
How
plan
about,
before
how about we
I
ask them
cast
what the
this
people are
thing?
doing here?
What are they doing out here? Why are they fighting?
Yeah.
Alright, I'll cast
And I have him-
comprehend languages.
Like, I have him, like, by his neck, and my rapier's, like, it's like where his carotid would be,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm kind of holding him while you talk to him.
He's got his teeth like showing and like gnashed out to you. You see his tongue kind of flicker in and out of it from out of his mouth every now and then.
Spooky.
We have to keep in mind that Winkham's is the only one who can actually hear what he's saying. So you're the only one who can talk to him, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna cast comprehend languages, and it lasts for 1 hour, just so you know.
Okay.
I guess this is going on a whim because I don't know if they can understand the common, but we'll see. I will ask him what does he understand what I'm saying first, like, and just see if he understands common.
Foul Vaders, the queen will feast upon your bones.
Very cool. What are you doing out here?
Winkham's just nods.
Yeah.
Alright, that went better than expected.
Killing the invaders. Getting our feast.
Alright, so they don't have like a purpose here.
I'm gonna relay what he's said so far to the rest of the group, so they
Okay.
get a notion of this guy's fucking this weird stuff that's going on here. I'm gonna ask him if do they have any, like, I guess you'd call it camps, lizard camps nearby, because they're obviously active over in this area, so they've got to have a camp of some sort.
I'm going to feast on your vocal cords.
Oh, okay, well.
Alright, can I roll
Ask him who the knight in
non-lethal-
shining armor
can
is
I,
in his
Can
crew.
I hit him?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna punch him.
Just roll bludgeoning damage. Roll
Just
1d.
roll for
roll a
non-lethal
1d4.
We're just
1d4.
interrogating this man. Lizard man.
Shit. Alright.
You punch him in the
If
face.
you want my intimidation, kitty.
You punch him
Well,
in
you
the
can't talk
face,
to him, unfortunately.
and it doesn't do anything to his armored hide.
Okay.
Here.
I'm assuming you're relaying this information to me.
Yeah, I relay this to all you
Okay,
guys.
I poke my rapier like a little, like blood starts to draw from his neck a little bit.
He looks at you, Winkums, and he says, "Kill me. The queen is going to feast upon you. I matter not."
I have intimidation +4. You want me to, like, get this guy to...
Can you talk to him though?
No, I can't, but I can,
You
like...
you want a non-verbal intimidation? Can you do that? I mean,
Well, I just saw Winkums fucking hit him, and the guy, like, basically spat back at him. And I'm like, Winkums, you want me to... Want me to rough him up a little bit for you, buddy?
Can I roll intimidation on him
Yeah.
to like get him to like kind of fucking cooperate a little bit here?
Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You got
Alright,
him.
I'm gonna roll intimidation.
Chop
on
off
him.
his lizard penis in a minute.
no, those are internal.
Oh my god, dude! I don't. Wow, rolls are low.
He hisses at you.
I really just want to follow that up with another punch.
And you want to bitch slap him again?
Yeah. I mean, you can try rolling for intimidation, Johnny. I don't know how it's gonna work because you can't fucking understand him, but.
Can I roll for
Yeah, but I
intimidation so that I have my sword to his neck?
Yeah, you guys can do. It's up to you guys.
I want to do a non-lethal... Well, I guess every intimidation is non-lethal. I'm gonna intimidate him by coming over and smacking him, telling him to be, like, shushing my mouth, okay, if I do this successfully.
So
Okay.
you're what? So exactly what are you doing?
So if I do this successfully, I want to walk over.
Mm-hmm.
I want to grab him, give him a death stare, and put my like finger over my mouth like shush and listen to my boy here.
He looks at you.
Damn it!
Our rolls are really low today. My goodness.
He looks at you and he hisses and he flicks his little tongue out at you.
I'm going to roll intimidation because I have my rapier
Just-
against his neck right now,
Okay.
and like
Remember,
I'm
no
kind of holding him
torture.
up, but like I'm gonna kick the back of his knee so he falls to the ground.
Damn it!
You do it, and then Winkums.
That was a 20 for a second.
Winkums, you hear. You better just kill me. I'll never speak.
I
I
kinda
look at
agree with
Winkums
the
and
little fucker.
I look at Winkums and I like arch my eyebrow.
Yeah?
I'm waiting for the go ahead.
Just kill him.
We're not killing him, Aaron.
Why?
It's a bad idea. We gotta get some information.
What
I
information?
don't think he's gonna give us any information anymore.
What information do you guys need?
I want to know where there were more of them. I assume there were more of them because he
so
said
we don't
if he
run
said
we have a better idea of not running into him.
he said that they're getting their feet. So I assume there's more than just those 7 down there. So I feel like it'd be cool killing them.
I'm not gonna lie, I only want to know who the fucking big ass dude in the armor is.
That's a good question.
That's the only thing I
Ask
want to
him
know.
that.
Alright, I'll ask him, who's the big man in the armor down there? Who's the head honcho?
He will feast upon your flesh.
Alright, that doesn't really
Oh,
answer
Be
my
right.
like,
question.
hey, be like, bitch, bring me there then.
We're there. What do you mean?
Bring me up to the motherfucker's face, bro. I'll fuck him up.
What?
You know what I mean?
Okay. I'm going to kill this lizard.
I'm gonna longball it, and I'm gonna insult the queen he talks about.
Ooh.
Insult him and then kill him.
Insult the queen.
Say the queen's nothing but a coward.
And a fucking slut.
Okay, easy there.
Tell him the queen's a slut, and I pounded her all night.
The queen is waiting for Joe.
He just hisses.
Okay, well, I just like push him to the ground all the way from his knees, and I put my rapier through the back of his esophagus.
Ask him if the queen likes 13 inches. After that.
He's dead. That's the last
He's
thing
saying this,
he doesn't understand.
and he is falling to the ground and is going.
And I said, yeah, that's the same noise your queen made last night, bitch.
Wow.
He's dead.
I flicked my rapier clean of his blood and spit on him.
We're really bad at interrogating.
Alright.
At least I stealthed him. That was neat.
I got the rage. I got the fever. I got the fever. I need to go. I need to kill these fuckers.
Guessing.
I got an itch.
So, look, can we peek? Can we like look over the hill and see if they're still grouped up?
Yeah. You don't need to roll stealth again.
What are they looking like?
You peek over the hill, and during your interrogation, combat continued. You notice that the lizard ranks are almost completely broken. Only two of the one you just killed remain. However, the one in the great salamander armor stands amidst where the Istvanians were. And you see he is holding the head of one of the Istvanians that was in chainmail, and he's just kind of swinging it back and forth. Two of the Istvanians in chainmail remain, as well as the hooded one and the great black armored knight.
I want them.
More Istvanians.
Guessing, what do you think about casting Fireball?
I've been waiting for you to say that.
What's fireball?
Oh,
It's a fireball!
What is it, like a big fireball, or
It's
is
a
it
big
like...
fireball.
20-foot radius, 8d6 fire damage on a failed save.
Mhm.
What?
They take half on a successful save.
Yeah.
Eight
have to make-
8d6?
That's if they fail, and it's half of that if they succeed. So they're taking damage either way.
So
big of a
what's the
radius?
layout here?
20 feet.
There's a 30-foot gap between the lizard folk and the Istvanians right now. They're kind of just staring each other down because, their ranks are decimated right now.
So say we were to do a
Which
if we
one
did
you
a
want to
fireball.
take out, big boy?
If we did a fireball, we'd either hit the Istvanians or hit the lizard folk. We can't hit both.
Well, okay. There's more Svanians than lizard folk, I think. Right?
But higher quality lizard folk.
I suppose.
I agree.
How about
the
how about this?
Istvanians gotta go.
I have
Also, I
fireball.
want to keep that. I want to keep that lizard folk armor in pristine
So
condition.
they're down in like this little valley area.
Yes.
So there's like no way we could like kind of sneak to get closer, right?
How far away are we from them?
You're about 60 feet from the lizard folk and 90 feet from the Istvanians.
That doesn't work.
They are not looking at you.
So, could I? Huh.
Could we?
Could I theoretically get 30 feet away from them without them seeing me?
Lizard folk, yes. Istvanians, because they're looking this way, you would roll at disadvantage.
Ooh.
The sun's in the sky. There's
Why do you
you're
wanna get
coming
closer?
over a hill.
I could cast Minor Illusion and I could do something in the middle of them to draw them together. So more people get hit by the fireball, but I have to be really close. I have to be 30 feet away.
Let me see something. I might be able
Well,
to.
otherwise, what I was thinking is, because if we're gonna
30
cast Fireball on the
fuck.
Istvanians, when Eric starts casting it, we start like
Actually, do I have to
going down the hill to
understand-
get closer to the lizard guys.
Oh, never mind. I was gonna see if I could. That's not gonna work.
But what I can do is... Hold on, let me check the range on this.
At this range, I think our best bet is just for me to cast Fireball.
You can cast Fireball, whatever group you don't cast Fireball on, I can hit with Firebolt.
Is that AoE?
No, but
Oh.
it's 1d10. It's a 1d10 cantrip. It's 120 feet, so I can hit him from here.
I don't think we should leave our position. We're at the high ground.
Yeah, so I can hit him. 120
I
feet.
got the high
we got
ground,
it.
Anakin.
So who you cast Fireball on? I'll cast Firebolt on the whatever other group. One person for whatever
I'm
other
gonna
group.
cast on the Svanians.
Okay.
All right.
So I'm gonna hit the lizard folk.
Dexterity saving throw, DC 15 on all of them.
On all of them. Okay.
And while he's doing this, I'm gonna cast Firebolt on one of the normal looking lizard folk with a shield.
Okay. Give me 1 sec.
8d6.
Yeah.
I got them
So
right.
it says- On a hit target. Okay, so let's see.
All right.
Range spell attack. Okay, so it's 20
Here are
plus
the
5.
2 chainmail ones. One dodges. The other one misses.
Okay.
So the one who
One-
dodged, how much does he
Yeah.
take?
Do you want me to do a flat 8d6 on all of them, or just the...
I think that's how it works.
Okay.
You do the 8d6 and then they take half or whatever if they dodge it.
Okay. Well, no, I'm asking if you want to do their saving throws now all together, and then we can just figure it out.
Cast the damage, and then I'll figure
Okay.
it out from there.
25. Ooh, that's a lot of ones.
Ooh.
That is a lot of ones. But those are pretty good 6s. It kind of balances it out.
Okay, so he takes half of that, which would be 13. Okay. You stand up and you cast your fireball, and one is caught. He doesn't see it coming. He's just immolated completely. You see him just turn to ash from the firebolt.
Jesus Christ.
The one next to him, he sees it at the last second, and he dives to the ground, but his back is just scorched from this. The one in the hood, I have to roll his saving throw. Give me 1 sec. Oh boy. What's the DC?
15.
Okay. The one in the hood jumps backwards, and the fireball misses him completely.
Oh.
And he takes no damage from it.
Oh no. That's not good. I know what that is. I don't like that.
He's a quick little shit.
It's a rogue.
And the last one in the great plate mail armor. He is caught in the blast and he takes the full damage. But he holds his shield out as the flames surround him, and he's able to weather the storm relatively well, although he's burned quite a bit.
I'm aiming at one of the Isvanians. How many are there?
There,
3.
There's 4
right now.
Isvanians.
well, one's dead. He got turned to
Yeah,
ash.
so there's 3.
There's 3
There's
left.
a chainmail one, one in a hooded rapier, and then the big armored one.
I'm gonna shoot the
And then
hooded
how
guy.
many lizard folks are left?
There are 3 lizard folk left.
I mean, with
Perfect,
the
we
hooded-
even the playing fields.
I made the hooded guy who just dodged that fireball.
You're hitting him.
Yep.
Does he have to make a dex saving throw?
No, it's an attack. So
Oh,
let's
okay.
see what I get here. 23.
You hit.
1d10 fire damage.
Nice.
Come on, d10. Be nice today. Decent.
What did you get?
What was it?
Doesn't see.
5.
He dodges back and watches as one of the men is immolated and the other one burned, and his officer, you're assuming, weather the storm, but he doesn't see in the explosion the firebolt that comes through, and it hits him in the chest, and he just kind of grunts a little bit and steps back from the damage.
Very nice.
Roll for initiative.
Hell
Oh,
yeah, brother.
boy. That was a good surprise round.
It's just 1d20, right?
Plus
20.
initiative.
Let's go,
plus
baby.
your initiative.
Not a natural 20, but I'll take it. Oh my god, you guys.
You will have disadvantage on your first attack, Johnny.
I didn't roll it yet.
What?
What?
Says you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
What?
No, I didn't yet. I'm looking at my initiative. It's a
What do you
2.
mean?
Oh, did you click it and not put your thing in?
No,
Oh, I see.
What's your initiative bonus?
it's 2.
2?
Oh, well, either way, you got a nat 1, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
F.
Who else is rolling?
Why
I
can't
got that one too.
What? I can't even see that.
I can't see it.
I see it. It's
Oh, I
one
see
yours.
it. Yep. Okay.
Yeah,
So
it
the
goes
both
me,
of
No, I see it.
Ricardo, Eric, Johnny in terms of roles.
All right. I'm gonna put you 2 at the bottom. Who wants to go first between Winkums and Kieran?
I don't
I'll go
care,
first.
Zach. You want to go?
I'll go first.
Okay. You guys are like, you are so mesmerized by the explosion that you're like, oh shit, we're in combat. So,
Endervin and Geffen are popping off. Oh, that's pretty.
Siegfried and Averlin first, because I have to just keep going back and forth between 1,000 different fucking character sheets.
This dude is extra thick.
I can hear it.
This
Siegfried.
means flour.
Wait, who are we attacking right
10.
now?
Hold on, I'm rolling.
Everyone.
I'm rolling initiative. I'm rolling initiative for the 5 fucking character sheets I have to do right now for you guys, and then I have to roll for them. Oh, Averlin's more ready to go than Siegfried right now. All right.
Fuck Averlin. Averlin, this is Averlin's end.
You can't say that. That's my son.
What?
My son.
You gave birth to him?
No, metaphorically, he's my son. Although I think Averlin might be older than my character.
Don't forget.
Averlin's only 18.
Okay, no, he's not.
Ursula.
Yeah, Drock. We got Drock now. He's got a gun. Good boy. Good gun boy.
Ansel, who I need to look at his fucking character sheet. I really should just write these down all on a fucking one piece of paper. I'll do that next time. This is killing me. That's a nice stew you got boiling there.
Yeah, it is.
I think that's code for mute your fucking mic.
I'm turning it down. I had to be over here to mess with it. I'm not trying not to burn down my house. There we go.
Timmy's. It's not fucking Timmy's. Whatever. He's getting a +5. I'm done looking for his sheet. It's buried somewhere. Cool.
Timmy's dead.
Drock. Everybody is rolling around a 10.
Except for me and Zach, or Winkums. We're watching the fire show.
Alright. The 2 remaining lizard folk, besides the big one, are mesmerized by that blast.
Blast.
The one in great plate mail armor, if it rolls, is not so mesmerized. The horribly burned Istvanian in chainmail. He's like, what the fuck just happened? The officer. Just making sure I have this right. Okay. Oh, he's like waving the smoke away when he sees you guys are charging him, so he's at disadvantage.
What the hell is happening?
And the hooded one.
These are the elite of the elite warriors, and we're just mesmerized by fire.
Ooh.
Oh, look at the fireball.
Okay, holy fuck, that was a lot. So,
Yeah.
through all of that,
Okay.
Endervin's actually going first.
God, Christ Almighty.
I'll be here. I'm
looking at the horribly burned one.
Food, so I'll be back in a sec, but I'll have.
Who's 90 feet away from you?
Yeah, I got 120 foot spell.
Oh,
I'm casting Firebolt.
again, okay. Give
Yeah.
me. You want to give me like 1 sec so I can write all of these in order?
Yeah.
He goes
It requires vision and I think a somatic. What is somatic?
I have no idea. I don't
Let's
care.
see. I forgot what it's called. It's something stupid. I'm trying to figure out how this works. 5E.
Wow, there was a lot of like low rolls in that initiative. Oh wait.
There was like a bunch that were really low, and then a bunch of like 10 through 12, and like 1 or 2 17, 18.
Ah, you know what it is? I need a free hand. It's a hand motion. I already know what that looks like, so.
Well, there you
I'll
go.
tell you if it hits.
Oh god.
Who are you firing this firebolt at?
You can go
The one that
ahead.
almost
You can go
died.
ahead and fire it. I'm writing these down.
15.
You fired one that's on the ground. You hit him.
Yeah.
The horribly burned one.
The horribly burned one, yeah.
Yeah, you hit him.
So I pull out my finger and I make like a finger gun and a goddamn firebolt. 1d10. 8!
Getting up from the explosion, he looks and your firebolt hits him in the face and blows his head off, and he's dead.
Hell yeah!
Yeah!
You hear a shout in Istvanian as the one with the rapier dashes forward. He clears 30 feet effortlessly, and he draws up his rapier, and he thrusts it at one of the lizard folk in front of the...
I apologize. I had to go grab food.
And he thrusts it in...
I killed that guy. I killed the guy,
nice.
Eric.
Yeah, the guy you weakened, he was picking himself up, and he looked over, and our Enderman's firebolt blew his head off when he looked
Also, I have
over.
a motion for my firebolt. Now it's a finger gun, and the firebolt comes on the tip of my finger.
That's you Hakish up and go crazy.
He
Don't worry
thrusts,
about it, dude.
He thrusts his rapier at one of the lizard folk with the shield that have been taken by surprise. Oh, and he hits.
Oof.
I'm back.
Ooh, boy, does he hit. Jesus.
Oh my
Ooh.
god.
My lord.
He thrusts his rapier, and the lizard folk opens his mouth, and the rapier goes through his mouth out the back of the head and kills him instantly. And he throws him to the ground.
Today?
So who just went?
The assassin.
And then,
For the Isvanians.
and then,
Kill the lizard guy.
effortlessly dodging some opportunity attacks, he begins running towards you all, and he makes it another 30 feet towards you.
No.
So now he's only 30 feet away from you guys.
No,
This guy, so this guy,
That's my move!
this guy, dead ass, he ran up, and like one of the lizard folk got in his way, and he just thrust his rapier and killed him instantly, like threw him to the side, and then dodged a couple attacks and ran up towards you all.
I think that man takes first priority of dying, so
He's mine.
You know
It's gonna
what's
be a little
honorable
shit.
melee combat between rogues.
all right. You guys know what time it is. I
It's
turn
like
into a
goddamn
wolf.
Princess Bride.
I,
You know
See,
what
does
this
his,
time.
fellow.
does
I
his
hate to
armor
kill you.
class increase when he turns into a wolf?
No.
No.
Oh my god.
He's naked.
Charging down the hill, Anzo vaults over the hooded Isvanian and charges into the ranks of the two remaining lizard folk, and that's his action as he dashed.
So he hopped over the rogue
Yes.
to get to the lizard people?
Yes. I feel like that's what Timmy would do.
That is exactly what Timmy would do. That's why I'm like, that's incredible that you got that right. And we'd be like,
RP
Timmy,
and this
why
other
not just
person's
attack
RP?
the rogue? And he's like, cuz there's two lizard guys and there's one rogue. Like,
You
I'll
managed
take
to
the two
exceed
lizard
my
guys.
expectations in every way.
Yeah, but Timmy, if we just gang up on the one, no, you guys don't understand. Alright, who's up now?
Turning to see this giant fucking werewolf in his face, the great armored lizard folk
hope he kills
turns and he swings at him with his sword, and I have to bring up
gonna-
his...
Dude, I swear, if he goes unconscious,
I hope this guy literally crits his ass so hard.
Shout out to the first sneak attack I've ever made.
Oh
yeah,
my.
it was a success.
Well,
Timmy's
sneak
dead,
attack.
huh?
Sneak attack out of combat.
How long ago did I make this character sheet? This might get bad.
Probably.
Yeah!
No! We
He
had to revive Timmy the last, like, 4 sessions. I don't want to do it again.
he swings his sword at Anzel. Oh, and Anzel misses. But the sword only catches air as Anzel dodges. But however, he attempts to bite Anzel while he's dodging away.
Homie got the bite action.
Oh, and he bites him. Let me make...
Well, yeah, isn't his armor class 13 or some shit?
Yeah.
God damn it, Timmy.
Really low.
He bites him for 5 damage, breaks a couple teeth, and Anzel must make a Constitution saving throw that he makes.
Thank God.
He is not poisoned by the bite. Roaring forth, Private Drock ascends the hill, and he screams, "Burn!" And he depresses the trigger on his wrath gun, and you see a wall of flame shoot out from the wrath gun, and this guy has to make a dex saving throw.
Who's he attacking?
The rogue. Oh, and he fails! And he is caught in the flames. However...
Jeez.
This is huge.
Oh, goddamn rogue. Goddamn.
Okay. He's caught in the flames, and he takes a flat...
30 damage. Oh my god.
He's caught in the flames. However, he throws his hood up into the flames, and he's only partially burned by it, and he takes 9 damage.
This cuck has evasion.
He took... What did he take from that last one? 5 from your firebolt?
Yes,
No.
5.
Okay.
He took 5 from my firebolt.
Oh yeah,
When I hit him.
the last firebolt, yeah.
Yeah.
He's taken
Firebolt
14.
though.
Firebolt, firebolt.
Big firebolt guy.
Okay. Jesus Christ, there's a lot to keep track of right now. Give me a sec. I just need to double check his... Okay. Cool. Thanks, Passive Perception, for flying away.
Not today. Me and the homies hate being perceived.
Okay. You hear the sound of a longsword being drawn from his scabbard, and you hear Averlin shout, "For the Paladin!" And he charges down the hill towards this rogue, and he swings at him. The rogue pulls out his rapier and deftly parries the blow. And then you hear, "Damn it, boy!" And you see Siegfried charge down the hill with his halberd ready to go.
God damn it.
Siegfried is getting really tired of Averlin missing. Is that
Yeah,
Siegfried?
Siegfried's
if
shaken
Averlin
up after
dies,
almost dying.
Siegfried's sad.
What was that?
It's like The Last of Us.
If Averlin dies, Siegfried's gonna be sad.
Yeah.
Siegfried catches this fucking dancing around rogue, however, and spears him with his halberd. Oh boy. So many times I have to go to this dice roller. Timmy and Belle need to start playing their characters. Maybe, if this ever rolls. Maybe, if this ever rolls. There we go.
This is not rolling.
It says rolling the dice. Okay. He thrusts his... He thrusts his halberd, and while the... or he's caught off guard by the speed of Siegfried, and he takes the full damage from this as the halberd spears him in the shoulder, and Siegfried just kind of shoves him back a little bit off of the halberd for 15 damage. Ursula runs up, and Sacred Flame down on the fucking lizard folk that Timmy's fighting, which is a dex saving throw.
Sacred Flame?
Yes, that he fails horribly.
Bro, why are these not ones today?
Which is flat 2d8.
Yeah.
For 13, holy shit, for 13 damage.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, look at that, we get to Winkums finally.
Alright, cool. So I'm at the top of the hill still?
Yes.
How close is, like, our team, like, to each other, in a sense?
Siegfried and Averlin ran down the hill 30 feet to engage this rogue, and Timmy is 60 feet away engaging the lizard folk.
Alright, I'm gonna run up to Siegfried and Averlin, and that's gonna be my turn. And then, quick question for you.
Yeah.
Is my disadvantage still until I actually attack?
No, it's only your first turn.
Oh, okay. Alright, cool. Alright.
Where's this rogue motherfucker?
Oh
He's
my God.
30 feet in front of you.
Oh. I'm gonna be here again, but I'm bringing my food up, so if you need me, I will unmute my mic.
Zach, are you going up to them?
He already did.
I'm right next to Siegfried and Aberlin. Right next to the rogue, so like I'm in combat now, like technically.
Alright, I'm gonna join you up there.
Alright, you run 30 feet.
Yep.
If you're gonna make an attack, it's at disadvantage.
Nope.
Alright.
Nope.
I need to make one more roll that I forgot. There is one remaining lizard folk that's amongst with Timmy. That hits. And he does.
Let's see.
He hits Timmy with his club for
1,000,000 damage.
7 damage.
I'm back.
Timmy got hit with a club for 7 damage.
How many? Wait, I couldn't see the dice roll in that. What was that?
I'm sorry, Eric, I skipped your turn, didn't I?
All good, fam.
No, you can roll right now. Go ahead.
What's your plan here?
Let's see.
I totally forgot to
I was
rate you
deciding
down.
on what spells to use. And
Fireball.
You're right there.
no.
Fireball again. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I can't fireball again. Kills us all. Yeah.
What? How did Timmy? Wait. Okay. What dice roll did Timmy take 7 damage out of? Because I can't see it.
It's a club that did 1d8.
Bruh.
So, okay, never mind. That makes sense. Okay, I'm going to cast at the top of this hill Vicious Mockery on the rogue,
Okay.
and he has to make a Wisdom saving throw DC 15, or be
rogues are not
disadvantaged
very
and
wise.
take 1d4 psychic.
Okay. DC what?
DC 15,
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw.
If it rolls... I don't know if it's my internet or if Roll20 is just being shitty for me right now. Maybe because I'm rolling about 30 times a turn.
It's a no by real dice.
I'm about to just use my backup dice roller if this doesn't work like as quick as I want it to, and I'll be honest with my rolls. Alright, I'm gonna do that. This guy's got a -2 to his wisdom, so...
Oh boy.
He got a 7. So...
Yay. Disadvantage on next turn, and then he takes a whopping 1 damage.
Come on, man.
Hey, I'm using it for the disadvantage he gets. That's what's a good cantrip.
It's a good thing I took that one, because he rolled a fucking natural 20
Yikes.
to avoid that. My connection to the server has been uninterrupted.
Yeah, mine keeps doing that.
All right, I'm gonna log out of Roll20, and I'll be right back.
Who's the turn?
It's going to be the biggest Vanian's turn when I get back.
What? You have disadvantage on an attack? Is that how that works, Eric?
On an attack roll, yeah.
Okay.
I think it is. Let me just double check. On the next attack roll, yep.
Okay, he's back. Or I'm back. The big Istvanian roars as he sees this werewolf and this lizard amongst combat, and he draws his sword and he charges into their ranks, and he takes one swipe at Ansel and one swipe, and on the backhand he takes another swipe at the one of the lesser armored lizard. So this one at Ansel.
Come on, Ansel. I believe.
I don't. What the hell? There we go.
I got a low AC, what can I say?
The one that hits Ansel for...
Oops.
17 damage.
Jesus!
Where did
That's a D8? What the hell?
2d8 plus 3. Yeah.
That's a lot of damage.
So Ansel's taking 24 damage already. And the one at the lizard... misses. Dodges at the last second. And we go back up to Enderman.
Hi. God, okay. Oh, the dice is in the way. God damn it. Okay. Successful intelligence against my spell save DC.
You don't have to roll Tides of Chaos, right?
No, because that was
Okay.
a cantrip.
Okay, I'm just making sure. That's what I thought.
not right now. Okay. How about... Wait. Okay. I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion.
Okay.
30 feet to... Well, everyone's directly ahead of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
What side is the lizard folk on?
The lizard folk are 60 feet ahead of you.
How many are there?
There's 2 remaining lizard folk. There's also Ansel and the Istvanian officer amongst them.
Okay. So, on the side of the Isvanians, I'm going to cast Minor Illusion, and it's going to sound like the horn the lizard folk like to blare.
Okay.
And if they want to figure out that that's fake, they have to do an investigation check against my spell save DC,
Okay.
which is 13, DC 13.
So do they have to do it now, or when it's their turn?
Good question. I assume it's when their turn.
Okay, then I'll do that.
No, they use their action to examine it.
Okay. You hear the horn blow out from behind them, and you see all of them just kind of stop in the middle of the combat as this horn blares. The rogue amongst you thrusts with his rapier, attempting, but Ceres's magical spell has bracketed him, and okay, just making sure. So he rolls this at disadvantage. How long does that last?
It's just their turn.
Just their turn? Okay.
Yep, just their turn. So,
First
it's a
one.
keen trip.
Please work, roll 20. Oh, he was attacking Averland and that missed, so you're good. Not even gonna bother rolling the second one.
I was gonna say, cause is Everlyn and Siegfried within 5 feet of me?
Yes.
Cause then he rolls at disadvantage.
How that works?
Regardless. Yeah, it's protection.
Is that
So
what
if
you
he-
were protection? I thought that was a spell save thing.
No, no. Paladin gets a protection. It's like a combat stance type thing at like level 4 or 5. When a creature you can see attacks a target Other than you that is within 5 feet of me, so like Averlin and Siegfried, you can use your
Right.
reaction to impose disadvantage on that attack roll. But I have to be wielding a shield, which I'm using my longsword and shield, so...
Oh, there you
Oh, but that's your reaction, so you can't do opportunity attacks and stuff.
go. Okay,
No,
so...
but I can just give him disadvantage in a
And you have
sense.
aura protection, which is your charisma modifier to saving tar.
Okay, so I'm gonna attack the big lizard with the plate armor. Because he just did a bunch of
Your
damage
roleplay
to
of
me.
Timmy's spot on.
Aura protection. Charisma modifier.
Oh
bonus
yeah,
or
I
saving
hit.
throws.
But when it says use
Very
my
nice.
reaction, is that just like when Patrick rolls, then I can be like...
That is your
disadvantage, like-
reaction for until your turn. So
But I mean, like, I can use it if he attacks someone other than me, essentially, when it's not my turn.
yes, because it's
Okay,
like
I just
counter
wanna make
spell.
sure, 'cause I-
the thing is that like you
it
won't be able to do an
confuses me.
opportunity attack if you use your reaction
So he's...
or anything else that requires a reaction for that matter.
Oh, I
Until-
see. So
until
it
the
uses
next-
up my reaction, so I can't do opportunity attacks, but I can impose disadvantage. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense then?
I wonder if my internet's just screwed up right now. It's taking forever to do these rolls.
Did you guys say you guys were having problems with Roll20?
Yeah.
I always have problems because I'm on my phone.
Okay, 'cause oh, on your phone, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you having problems with it?
No.
I have been when it wouldn't show up for me, but I'm on my phone.
Mine right now is just taking forever to roll any kind of dice. I might...
I was running into that problem when I rolled for initiative earlier. When it gave me the 1, it was like rolling,
7,
and it was like
so-
that for 20 seconds. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, like...
Yep, just said my connection to the server was interrupted. Okay, I'm gonna disconnect my Wi-Fi and reconnect it.
Oh, your roll just went in if that's
Yeah.
what you were doing.
Yep, that's what I was waiting for. Alright, he did a total of 31 damage to the,
Yee.
fucking big lizard.
Huge. Big lizard.
Okay.
Callie.
What's up?
The big lizard turns and tries to strike down Ansel. And hits him.
Damn it, Ansel.
Oh, don't put the crab emoji in the fucking roller. Ansel is hit for 9 damage. He has taken 33 damage.
So has he got 40 left? About- doesn't he have, like, 70 something?
He has 44 left.
Okay.
Drock cries out, and he drops his wrath gun, and he draws out a long obsidian blade. And he runs down, and he is now amongst this melee throng, and he swipes at the rogue. He doesn't have disadvantage or anything against saving rolls, right, Eric?
Nope, it's just attack rolls for the one time.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, but at the last second, the rogue draws his rapier and barely parries the blow away. Averlind swings his longsword, and he hears Siegfried call out, "Damn it, boy, please just hit him!" And Averlind misses.
Everland, come on, bruh.
Siegfried brings his halberd up and tries to chop this rogue down. And hits him. He brings it down, and the rogue gets his rapier up, and instead of chopping him down and bisecting him, it glances off his rapier and hits his arm and puts a huge gash into his arm. He took, rolling down, 8 damage from that? Yeah. Sacred Flame.
Yeah, yeah. I love how when you get to her turn, Sacred Flame.
Because I'm not going to bother looking at the rest of the spells unless it's healing. Sacred Flame on, we'll say, the last lizard, who has to make a dex saving throw, DC 15. He fails. She calls down her Sacred Flame and he turns to ash because he had 1 health left. Okay. Saris, it's your turn. Got you this time.
Yeah.
So there is plate mail lizard folk. I'm just going to use that. It's not actually plate mail, but plate mail lizard folk,
Right.
plate mail Istvanian, Istvanian rogue. That's what's left.
Okay. I'm going to. Let's have a little fun with it. Let's use our 30 feet to run down the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I'm still at the top. I'm gonna use my 30 feet to run down the hill, and then I'm going to. Oh my!
Dear Lord. My God.
Let's just do a little rapier attack on the rogue.
All right.
Man. Okay. That's a miss. 10-4.
You saunter on up, you straighten your button, and you're like, I got this. And you thrust your rapier forward, and he just effortlessly parries it aside. He's looking at you like, parry this, you fucking casual. Winkums, it's your turn.
Cool. I want to attack the rogue.
I'm going to beat you to death, says Winkums.
Hold on.
All right.
I'm going to beat you to death.
That's kind of fucked up, but hey, man.
You hit him.
That hit?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Very cool. 12. Wow, polar opposites, man! Fuck!
The rogue,
Oh, Jesus.
the rogue,
duality of man.
the rogue parries Saris's blade and is looking at him like, yeah, I parried that, you casual. He does not see Winkums coming, who chops off his arm and then swings and cuts off the top of his head and kills him instantly.
Am I up?
Yeah, you're up. You're 30 feet away from the big lizard folk and the big Istvanian that's left.
Where are we at? Damage. Like, who? What do you guys want me to do?
We got the big guy still going, huh?
They've both taken damage.
You're a fighter barbarian. Go cut someone. Go hit him.
No, I'm gonna go attack somebody, but do you want me to attack the rogue or do you not care?
The rogue's dead.
man.
Rogue just died.
Oh, he's dead?
His head just got cut off. Winkums said no.
Oh, give me the boss then. The big guy.
Which one?
Big lizard?
Captain.
Big lizard or big armored man?
What
Alright.
Big
happened?
lizard.
What happened?
What happened?
For damage, it's...
Well, you gotta roll a d20 to see if you hit him.
God, that always gets me.
I should
What
watch that
happened?
Mickey Mouse cartoon.
It's so goddamn funny.
It looks really
A
funny.
D20,
I've always seen the clips, and
but
it's really funny.
don't I get like +5 or
Yeah.
+7?
Yeah, it's your strength
Strength
modifier.
plus proficiency.
Strength plus proficiency, yeah.
You probably
You
have
should
something
have,
like
it should
you
be
have something
plus
like a
8
plus
if
7
you
or
have,
something.
if you have max strength, which is 5.
+5, and then, yeah, it's +8.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're flat +8 to hit because you're powerful. I also have a +8 to hit, huh?
Can't relate it.
This is max character class stat gang.
Is that supposed to be a plus 8 to that?
Yeah, why does it do that? It like rolls it without
Alright.
me...
18,
Looking.
it would have been 18, you hit him. So,
Oh, okay.
roll your damage.
What's that D10 for?
I'm not. What?
Roll a d10.
What?
Why did it do that?
What happened?
Are you using an advanced dice roller?
Yeah,
Oh, okay. I don't know what's going on then.
it's freaking
neither.
out.
Roll 20's been fucky.
PSN, roll 20. God is trying to stop us from playing D&D.
It's true. He doesn't want us playing today.
For that devil worshipping.
Here, hang on. I gotta find mine.
Here we go. You just fall? What just happened?
Hello?
Hello?
I think Patrick just, or not, I think Johnny just died.
Johnny?
Johnny?
He said he's trying to find his damage.
It's
Alright.
Is it out of his apartment or something?
No,
Hello?
sorry.
It's he's on mobile right now. I get it.
Alright, 3d8s. Or no, sorry, I have to roll to see if I hit you, right?
No, you already hit.
Yeah, you hit.
Okay, yep.
3d8.
3d8s.
Is there a plus to that? I think it's your strength modifier, so 3d8. What do you have, +5 to your strength?
Plus 2 to damage because I'm using rage.
So, and your strength modifier as well?
Plus
so,
5.
So 3d8 plus 7.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Is it your strength modifier? Or your, whatever modifier it is to hit? Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
19
dex, I was looking
flat
at different.
damage.
Very fat, very huge, very large.
You...
19.
Yep, you run forth. And you... What is it, a warhammer? You
Yep.
swing your great hammer, and you buckle one of the plates in his back because he doesn't see you coming.
Oh god.
Love that. Is he dead?
No.
Alright, I want to use my extra attack.
All right. Roll to see if you hit again. 1d20
I
plus
want to
8.
use my, I rage.
1d20 plus 8 to see if you hit again. Oh yeah, you hit. So 3d8 plus 7 again.
Barbarians are something else, let me tell you.
Yeah!
I feel like if you did a party of like barbarians, fighters, and paladins, it'd be ridiculous.
Barb.
You run forward and you swing your warhammer and you buckle a plate in his back, and he turns around to look at you, and as he does so, you take your warhammer and you bash him in the face. And he steps back as you've broken some teeth, and it looks like he's gonna have a huge fucking swelled up eye if he lives.
Good. My turn's done.
Seeing this, the Istvanian officer steps forward and he is attempting to backstab this flailing lizard folk. And he hits him.
Oh Christ.
He steps forward, seeing an opportunity, and he grabs the lizard folk by the shoulder and, like Assassin's Creed style, sticks the blade in his back and sticks it through his back, and the lizard folk dies and he throws him off of his blade.
Jeez. Huge.
And he says something in Istvanian that's probably a swear word.
No swears in my
no.
game.
What is it? What is it? Cause has it been an hour yet?
Oh, yeah, that's right. You can comprehend languages.
Yeah. What did it say?
You hear, filthy non-human beast, he says.
I'm gonna respond and say, "You shut your mouth."
Also very nice.
He points at you.
What
You're
happened?
next, paladin. He points his blade at you.
I give him thumbs up. Yeah.
Endervin, it's your turn.
Oh man. How far away is that guy?
30 feet.
30 feet. I'm gonna walk up right up to him.
That's the big guy, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Dope.
Can I see anything on, like, he's got anything on him?
He's got his... No, he's got his shield and his sword.
Ah, I was looking up and down. I wanna hit this big guy.
All right.
Okay. What is my 2-hit? Dex plus proficiency, so that's 8. 26.
Did you roll the hit?
Yeah,
No,
I rolled
well,
a
you hit
20
him.
plus 8.
26.
I got 12. Okay. Okay.
I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, yeah, no.
I
Okay.
don't know if you're gonna hit, man.
2d8. Wait, no. Hold on, I have to look at this rapier stat. 2d8 plus 5. Okay. Oh, the duality of man. Wait, is he? Who's? Wait, Johnny's next to him, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. I'm doing sneak attack damage.
Oh.
I think the sneak attack activates when people are next to him. Hold on, let me quick check. I always forget.
Hansel is
Pretty
as
sure it's
well.
all procs. Oh, good. Okay, I'll tell you what the thing is. You don't need to advance to roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it. The enemy isn't incapacitated, and I don't have disadvantage. Yep. So I will sneak attack damage on that.
Right.
So I'm level 6 rogue, so that is a 3d6 flat addition on this attack.
Jesus, 28.
Jesus, that's my match my attack roll. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Give me 1 sec, I'm adding up the remaining health.
Gross, man.
Holding your rapier high, he looks at you and he's looking at Kieran, and he sees Kieran stepping forward, so he turns to him, and you take your rapier and you plunge it underneath his armpit, and it comes out his shoulder, and you pull it back out.
That's gross. That is gross, man.
I follow up on Endervin's attack, and I try to knock his head off.
He's not quite, but I did 28 damage to him. Cause
Maybe you should take over for Ansel.
Oh yeah, I
or for
hit.
Timmy.
I've been for the last 2 sessions.
Yeah, you do a good job.
except for all the dying, you know.
You're better at Timmy than Timmy is.
With a swipe of my claws, I grab his helmeted head, and then I grab the other side, and I squeeze all the juices
God.
out of his head.
Oh no!
And he falls over and dies.
Nice.
And then I turn back into a human and drink my flask.
I lay my card face down.
Oh, here. That's Timmy drinking his flask. Combat over.
Nice.
I want that equipment.
Oh yeah, you're right. I start looting the bodies.
Looking amongst the loot, you find a usable sword from the Istvanian officer. It's a long sword.
Right.
It's 2d8 plus 5.
Wow.
And you find a usable rapier,
Okay.
which is also, I believe that's 2d8 plus 5 as well. Let me double check just to make sure. No, that's 2d10.
Oh,
And finally, you find in a normal Istvanian shield that could be used. It's just a shield. Everything else is...
Ricardo, you want that little rapier butt?
I do want that rapier. Rapier actually is better than the one I have right now because I think I bought this a while ago.
You guys bought that when you first got to the Glasslands.
Yeah, I'm gonna take up this. Does it have a name? Oopsie.
Oh.
Does it have a name?
Istvanian rapier.
Okay.
What rapier did you have before, Ricardo?
The obsidian one.
You had an obsidian one?
I walk
Yeah.
forward and I cast...
2d8 plus 5.
I cast if I can cure wounds on Timmy.
Can I have that rapier,
But
Ricardo?
He gets
What's your
back
rapier?
Mine's a Mastercraft one.
12 damage.
What is it?
1d10
Like, what's the
plus
damage?
1.
Oh, you need this. Yeah, you got my rapier. I don't need it anymore. Can I
Is that
buy
an
it?
obsidian rapier?
Yeah, it's an
Rapier?
obsidian
Zach, do you
rapier.
want that long sword?
What is it like for damage?
It's 2d8. I said plus 5 was his bonus, but 2d8 for you.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah. So
I have a 2d12.
Yeah, Eric. It's 2d8, or yeah,
I have a
the skinny rapier
3d8,
is
so I don't need it.
it's 2d8 plus whatever your dex is.
I mean, I'll take it. I can just sell
Well,
it.
couldn't it be strength too, because it's a finesse weapon?
I'll take the sword.
Do you pick either one? Is that how that works?
Finesse is you can use strength or dex, yeah.
Oh, then yeah. Whatever your modifier is, then yeah.
Long sword.
So it's
I-
2d8 plus strength plus...
That's it.
Oh.
The rapier, the thing to the rapier was that it gave me 2d8 up from like my 1d10 or something like that.
Yeah.
So I have a new rapier. I'm gonna get rid of the old one. I'm gonna put the Isfanian rapier on.
It's very
can't-
well made. It's got etchings that line the blade.
I'm proficient. The damage is 2d10. You said
Yes.
2d10. So I like toss my rapier up in the air, Geffen, and take this new one and start.
It's got etchings all up along the blade.
Oh boy.
What's Anzel's hit points at?
Uh,
He's just healed, right?
Yeah, Ursula healed him for 12. He's taken 21 out of 77 damage.
I'm
not
gonna
too
use Cure Wounds at a second level spell.
Okay.
Isfanian. So,
Rapier. Let's see here. So that's 2d8 plus 7. That should do the trick, I think. Assuming the rolls aren't shitty.
You're asking a lot here.
1, 1, and a 7, 9 total.
17.
Not bad.
That's good. He's taken 4 total damage then.
Alright.
Bruh. Come on, roll 20, work with me here.
Okay.
It does not want me to know what the roll is for this, so I'm just gonna remember that it's 2d10.
I'm a little spooked on... Okay, so Minor Illusion, how does that... Okay. 'Cause you did the
What's up?
horns, right?
Yes, I did.
I'm a little worried that, people... what's the range on it? Like, how wide does it affect?
Good question. Let us see.
'Cause
Minor illusion. Let's see.
Basically, I know we should get out of this area, but I don't know how
the
fast
sound
we
does
should
not.
be.
The sound does not have a range. It's just the volume. It's the volume of whatever I played it at. So I played at the volume that we've heard it before.
Right, so we need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we should probably leave.
Let's hightail it.
What do you mean? Let's just take a long rest, guys. I'm feeling daring today.
So we looted all the bodies. We got everything.
Yep.
Drac, you good?
Yes. I answered for him.
He
You better be, because we're gonna move.
Drak nods his head. He runs up to the top of the hill and he retrieves his wrath gun, and he comes back down
Very
the hill.
nice.
Good man.
He shouts out, "I've got 2 shots left."
Well, how do you get more?
He shakes his head and says, "I'd have to refill it back at a camp."
Well, shoot wisely.
Don't miss.
We gotta go. Let's keep going hill by hill.
Yep.
Pressing on to the east.
Yep.
Sir.
You press on to the east. You're traveling a couple of minutes, about 5 minutes past. You're getting closer to the mountain. You're about half a mile away. You've been going slow because you got to go up a hill, down a hill, and you're kind of keeping your ears and your eyes out. During this couple minutes, instead of just one war horn, one big loud war horn coming from the valley, you hear like 3 or 4 or 5 coming from different parts of this valley as you're traveling.
Hell yeah, brother.
Obviously, there is just a massive battle that is going on here.
That's what I like to hear.
About 5 minutes passed, and one of these horns blares out, seemingly from the next set of hills and valleys over ahead of you.
All right. Not a fan of that.
Have we figured out why they sound the horns? Like, do they do that pre-attack, post-attack, during attack?
I don't know that we. Well,
Well,
I guess.
I mean, the one time they sound the horns against us was for reinforcements. And then it was for, like, a response after that was the next horn.
Are you asking like that out loud?
Yeah.
Siegfried speaks up and he says, lad, the Istvanians are blowing the horns to try to stay in contact with each other. Let each other know where they're at.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the lizard folk horns. Excuse me. What do you guys want to do about this horn ahead of us?
We're still in the hills, right?
Yeah.
Let's go look over the hill if we can.
Sure. You move over to the next hill, and as luck would be on your side, you're moving up while the war horn blares. It's an Istvanian war horn you recognize now, so you don't have to roll for stealth here.
Very nice. Okay. Can we peek over the hill?
Yeah. You peek over the hill, and on the hill across the way, it's a little bit shorter than the one you're on, you see a single Istvanian in robes and a hood, and one next to him or her, you can't quite tell. This Istvanian is holding a great sword, and he's even bigger than the previous one you saw with the shield. And charging up the hill, about 30 feet from them right now, they're about 90 feet from you currently. Charging up the hill towards them, you see two of the plate-armored lizards, and in between them you see one of the not armored lizards with a shield, and they're charging them. And when you look down in the valley, you see just a scattering of dead bodies, Istvanian and lizard alike. So you've caught the tail end. It seems like you've caught the end of a battle here.
I said we watch. How about you guys?
Get your popcorn ready.
I don't know if I want to engage in these guys. Let's see how they do when they're duking out with each other.
I want to see what kind of attacks they have.
And then clean up
Is
the
that the
scraps
only way
that
to the mountains? Is past them?
On the current way you're I mean, you could try to go around, but you've heard war horns all around you.
Yeah, I want to sit
Yeah,
back.
let's watch.
Just give it a minute. Let's see if they kill each other.
If they do, lucky us. If they don't, kill them.
You sit back and you watch, and stepping forward, the Istvanian in the robes removes her hood, and even from here you see she holds her hands out, and you watch as her eyes flash violet.
Oh.
And she holds her hands down, and a wave of fire comes out of her hands and engulfs these three lizard folk, and they flail and burn and turn to ash before your very eyes.
That's good.
And the one with the great sword steps forward, and he grabs her by the shoulder, and he turns her around, and he starts marching her down the other side of the hill.
Away from us.
Away from you all, yes.
But still in our direction that we're heading.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's good scouting report on the
Well,
sorceress.
they're going in the direction that we need to go in.
Let's
Well,
just
that's
have
not
her clear us a path.
I like that. Yeah, how about we do the, can we, okay, they went over the hill that we saw them at the crest.
They're going east.
And we're going east.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, yeah, how about we just kind of tail behind them a little bit?
Okay.
I have an idea.
What's your idea?
Disguise self.
What are you disguising yourself as?
As an Isvanian.
Oh, that's risky, man.
Try to get them to go.
I like this.
Try to get them to go rally with another Warhorn.
Okay. Okay.
Which direction? So they said they're all around us. The Warhorns are all around us.
Yes, they're
All around.
every now and then you'll hear one either come from your right, your left, front, and behind. You'll hear an Isvanian or a lizard folk warhorn just start blaring.
I have an idea. We can get them to go to the north, because to the south of us are the Iron and Fire Drakes, assuming they're still alive.
Assuming,
and the north is probably more lizard folk and more Isvanian fights.
Right. So we get them to go north.
So I'm thinking we get them to go. I can get them to go north.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I'd go on alone.
Yes.
I'm the only one that can change how I look.
That's true. I steal stuff, so.
Yeah.
I mean, theoretically, I could, steal the hood off of her head.
Can I change my armor looks with disguise self? Let me look. Let me reread this again. You make yourself, including your clothing, armor, weapons, and other belongings on your person, look different. Okay. So how about I disguise myself as an Isvanian captain?
Correct.
Or an Isvanian, I guess a foot soldier, because they probably wouldn't send a captain to do a a relay mission on.
Right.
Yeah.
So you disguise yourself in Isvanian. We wait. Or if we wait at the crest of the hill, we look over. If it goes wrong, you signal us.
Wait, I don't speak Isvanian shit.
Good point.
Fuck.
You can use a comprehend language spell.
Yeah, but that doesn't let me
really
speak Isvanian.
Well, we've been doing it as speak.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how that works, but yeah, maybe.
You guys cool with that?
Works for me. What's the signal if it doesn't work out?
What's your plan?
Because we probably won't be able to hear you.
My plan is to disguise myself and as an Isvanian and run up to this hooded Isvanian and its bigger companion and get them to move north and assist with the fighting up there.
Yes.
That way they're out of our path.
Damn, that's ballsy, Cotton. Let's see how it plays out for you.
I have an
What's your
inspiration
signal?
dice and I got good persuasion.
Yeah. What's your signal?
My signal, they're walking away, so I'd probably have to shout really loudly.
Yeah. You can do like a hand motion. We won't be able to hear you probably, so we should figure that out.
Actually, let me look at something. How far does message reach? 120 feet?
Oh, that'll probably work. Message cantrip.
Yeah. I'm gonna...
How about this?
Yeah.
Okay. How about I stealth to the top of the hill, right? Just me, and you like where you can see me. If it works, you shoot me a message cantrip, and if it doesn't work, I'll from the top of the hill ready the rest of the group.
I'm worried that this magic user that they have will be able to detect it. Me signaling.
Maybe. Well, you can do your to detect the message.
Yeah.
Can I intercept that sort of thing?
I don't know, but I think this magic user is extremely powerful.
We could try it. Otherwise, use your hand. Put up a fist if it doesn't work. Or put up a fist. Yeah, put up a fist if it doesn't work. Like stop.
Okay. Fuck it, I'm going in. Disguise self, had. Comprehend languages, had.
Okay.
Both last 1 hour.
All right.
No concentration.
And you are stealthing up behind him, Endervin?
Yep, I'm stuffing up to the top of the hill so I can see the proceedings.
Thanks to all the noise going on around you, you don't have to roll me a stealth check.
Nice.
I'm describing myself as an Isvanian, but also I'm like cut and bruised, and like I look like I've been in a fight.
Do you have your helmet on? Do you have like a helmet on? Like, how exactly do you look? Describe it to me.
I think it'd be easiest if I have a helmet on. Yeah.
Okay.
But underneath the helmet, in case, for whatever reason, they ask me to take it off, cuts and bruises.
Got it. Okay.
Okay.
So, before your very eyes, Saris turns into an Isvanian soldier, clad in black armor. It's like splint mail, almost, I guess you would describe it as.
Yeah.
He ascends up to this hill. Endervin, you're right behind him, and you peer over the hill. At the bottom of the hill, you see the two Istvanians. The big armored one, he's pointing towards the hills ahead of him, and he's just kind of waving his finger back and forth. And the other, she has put her hood back up.
Okay. I'm going down there, and I'm like out of breath, kind of running there.
You run down the hill, and spinning on his heel, the one in the great armor draws his sword, and when the other one turns around, you see for the briefest of moments violet eyes underneath the hood. And then when she takes in your form, the eyes turn to blue.
I'm gonna say, we need your help to the north immediately. I'm gonna look upon the bodies around us and say, we're really gonna need your help in the north.
The the great armored one holds up his hand, and he says, "What is your name and rank?"
Best of luck.
Private, Kasem.
He cocks his helmeted head.
Fuck.
Roll me a deception check.
Okay. Where's my deception? 7. Okay.
Nat 1.
Da-da-da. I'm going to use... I still have 3 inspiration from my solo session, so I'm going to use those in this fucking thing right now.
Well,
So,
you can
those
make
give me
this
advantage, right?
Yeah, you can roll this one at advantage.
Oh yeah, Eric, the obsidian rapier has a -1 to enemy AC. I forgot about that.
Mark that down to 3 inspiration. I guess I had 4, so mark that down to 3 inspiration.
What do you mean -1 to AC?
When I bought it from
You flat out ignore 1 AC.
yeah.
So
Which
if they have
Oh, so if their
I've been
AC is
forgetting
like
to do.
17 and you get a 16, you hit still? 'Cause
Yep.
it
Yeah.
takes 1 away?
Yep.
Okay.
I've been
That's
forgetting
pretty
to do
dope.
that, but it has that on there. I just forgot that it was on there
That's
because I
pretty
forgot.
cool.
You say this and you deceive him. You say Private Kasem, and he nods. Strange Istvanian name, but I guess times change. All right, Private Kasem. Says, I am Captain Iris, and this is this is my anointed sorceress, Sorceress Vale. Says, which regiment to the north needs our assistance?
What? Oh, what was his name? Captain
Iris.
Iris. Okay. I say,
Always answer a question with a question.
Captain, all of them. We need your help. All the regiments need your
All
help
of
right
them.
now. All the regiments in the north. Whatever ones that are left.
Roll me a deception.
Are you gonna use your inspiration again?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Oh! Oh!
Well, at least it's not a 1.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it's not one.
He shakes his head and he says, Privates, do not lie to me. Says, our attack was going well in the north. We had almost shattered their lines. And those damned fire drakes and iron drakes that were in our south have been all but annihilated at this point. Privates, are you just terrified? Is that why you're here? You look out of breath. I honestly don't think we need any help in the north, and I have my own mission to push through the center here.
I have an idea. Okay. I trembly raise my hands to my helmet and take it off to reveal my bruised and cut face. And I say, there was an explosion of some sorts, mixed with the horns. I narrowly escaped it, but the ones that are alive, think, is Vaughn, forgive me for saying his name, but it might be Vulcan's doing.
Roll me a deception check.
Oh, no.
Are you going to use another inspiration die?
Yeah, that was my other inspiration die, so I'm down to...
1.
I'm down to... Oh my god, where are my notes? Okay, I'm down to... I used
1.
2 right there. Yeah, I'm down to 1.
He shakes his head and he says, Private, I can see you're bloody and you're bruised. Obviously something happened to your regiment. But, Istvan be praised, forgive me for saying his name, I just so happen to be down a couple of foot soldiers, and you have now fallen right into my lap. So, as ranking captain here, I order you to join me and Vale here as we push through the center.
Oh, man. What are your orders, Captain? Just
Well,
to
you
push
gotta
through the
go
center?
with them.
I do. It only lasts an hour, though.
Well, you better hope they truck you along, buddy.
He nods his head and he goes, good. Okay, I'll tell you what I can tell you. We know that there is an enemy agent that is causing havoc on our center lines here. Only one, it's the strangest thing. We think it might be a psych. That's why we've brought Miss Vale along here. I'm going to need you to serve as my scout for us as we press on towards the center.
Oh, perfect.
Okay. How far would you have me scout ahead?
Oh, it's not too much farther here. Actually, it's about a couple more valleys over, is where we had an entire platoon get wiped out.
And you think it was done by a psych?
He nods. He says there was magical burns all over some of the bodies. We think with how the attack has been going, however, that we are hemming them in.
I give a quick salute, and I say, Istvan, guide me. I shall be back, if I survive, I shall be back with information about this psych.
He nods his head, and he turns and starts conversing with Iris, or with Vale, excuse me. Basically, it's just some troop movements here and there, and how foul the lizard folk are.
Okay, so they're in a valley, right?
Yeah.
And there's a hill to the west where the gang is right now, and the hill
Yep.
to the east where I'm at right now.
Yep.
They're in a valley in between them.
Yep.
Okay. How far away is the crest of each hill to each other?
You're in so the crest of the one to the east and the west, this valley comes down, it's about 30 feet total. So 30 feet from the west hill, 30 feet from the east hill.
Okay. I'm gonna get behind the crest of the eastern hill and kind of shoot my message towards Ricardo.
Okay.
And say, or to Endervin and say, they're not budging, and they think there's a psych to the east doing their soldiers in.
All right.
Couldn't get out of. Actually, let me see. What is the the restrictions on message? So I think there's restrictions on how much you can say. Whisper a message. That's all it says.
Okay.
Okay.
As long as within 120 feet, I'm sure you're fine.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I'll just say that then.
You get over to the other side of the hill and you shoot your message over, and you notice the sorceress twitch a little bit, and she looks towards you, or your hill. Endervin, you've received the message.
Okay. Is it still
I can't
loud?
message back. Unfortunately.
Is it still really loud?
As in, like, war horns?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I wave my hand up for the rest of the party to come join me at the top of the hill.
As you are all ascending the top of the hill, you see the sorceress. She looks over and she says something to the officer, and he draws his blade out, and he looks over at the hill that Saris is sitting on.
How far away are they?
30 feet from you.
30 feet. I want to try to use the grass to stealth over to the sorceress.
Roll me a stealth check.
14.
You come over the hill, and you make it about 15 feet down when your foot kicks a rock, and it goes tumbling down. And the one with the greatsword turns and looks at you, and he shouts in surprise. Roll initiative!
Should I roll? Do they know I'm a...
It's up to you if you want to get involved in this.
Okay. He said he shouts, so, ooh, I got an idea.
Initiative doesn't take proficiency, does it?
Yeah, it does.
It does?
Pretty sure. Or, oh no, it's just your dex modifier.
Okay. Just making sure.
I'm going to...
10.
Do we roll too?
If you want.
Hell yeah. No, I'm
Is
sitting
this
this one
for
out, guys.
initiative?
Yeah.
So it's what, 20 plus what?
Oh, flat
Your
19,
initiative
I'll
bonus.
take it.
Your dex.
Okay, so
Your
I
dex.
got 13.
Total, okay.
I'm going to, turn at the sound of this Captain Irish shouting, and stance up behind them, but like probably 10 feet behind them,
Okay.
and act like I'm on their side until it's my turn, so I suppose I should roll for initiative.
Alright.
Oh, that's not the dice roller. What am I doing? Oh no, that's up arrow. Down, 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 down. Yikes! Good thing they think I'm on their side.
What a clumsy private you are.
I know. My first roll of the day, I get a nat 20, and then it's like, yeah, no, biggest important fucking rolls.
Siegfried.
Session, and be like,
Averland. Drock.
Okay, everyone rolls 10s, it's okay.
Ursula.
Bro, what is happening?
And then you hear from behind, you guys got this one. And Ansel just sits in the grass.
ah, son of a bitch. The Ansel rolls.
Now. Oh boy. Yay. I get to do this again.
I need 2 nat 1s, give me.
Where is... Oh. Is... The hell? It's back here. Okay. Big dude. Oh my fucking god. And Sorceress just gets a flat.
Was that the 12?
Yeah.
Bruh.
Oh,
Oh my god.
I rolled perfectly average, pretty much, for all of their rolls. So we've got Winkum's at 19.
Winkham's is first. I got a 10.
How far are they away from us?
30 feet for you, 15 for
Okay.
Enderman. You got a 10.
So they're within
Yep.
combat range for me.
Um,
Cool.
okay. Siegfried got a 12.
This is the worst cluster of.
Oh my god, this is...
It's just variations
Actually,
of 11 through 14.
Ursula got a 13. Siegfried got a 12. Drock got a 12. Averlin got an 11.
And then the big guy got a 12, and then the sorceress got a 10.
What, Erg?
Oh, that's a clusterfuck.
Paladin
The
got
rumor
a...
is Toby Fox's song on Sword and Shield is the actual battle theme.
Officer got a 12. Averland an 11. What the fuck is this shit? What did Johnny get? I missed his.
13.
You got a 13. Do you between you and Belle, who wants to go first?
I don't know, Belle, who wants to go first? Okay, I will.
Okay. Kieran got a 13. Sorcerer.
I have a +5 to my initiative. I rolled a 10, Patrick.
Sorceress got a 10, and then all the way at the bottom, we've got Saris at 1. Okay, here's the initiatives. Winkum's 19, Kieran 13, Ursula 13, Siegfried 12, Drock 12, Averland, Istvanian Officer 12, Averland 11, Sorceress 10, Saris 1. I hate you guys.
I'm in there.
Ah!
Oh, where are you?
I'm 10.
You have a higher...
slot me somewhere in there.
Oh my god. Endervin 10 because you have a higher dex than Sorceress, so you go before her. Sorceress 10, Saris 1. Alright, just kill them, Winkums. So, you're up first.
Ah, go!
Are they both within 30 feet?
Yes, they're both in the bottom of this valley.
I'm gonna
Take
go
the
for
sorceress!
I'm gonna go for the sorceress, yeah.
She's gonna fireball us.
If you're attacking on your first turn, Saris, it's going to negate that natural 1 for disadvantage, so you'd just be at a flat roll, basically.
Wait, why would I be at a flat roll? Oh, because I'm, like, an Isvanian looking motherfucker right now?
Well, yeah, because you're
What?
disguised. If you're attacking them,
okay.
it's like a sneak attack. But
Okay, good.
since you rolled a natural 1 for your initiative, it's just kind of like you're like kind of stumbling
negating the
forward. Yeah, they're like, oh, he's a bad guy. All right, so Winkums, you're up.
Heel turn.
I'm gonna attack sorceress.
You hit her.
Cool!
What'd you roll?
A
Jesus.
17.
My lord.
Oh, okay, alright.
You step forward and you slash down at her and you cut her across her arm as she's stepping
I'm gonna attack
back.
her again.
All right. You hit her.
Alright, cool. I'm gonna use Divine Smite after this roll.
Okay.
Oh my.
Jesus Christ! Oh my God! Jesus!
Houston, we have a problem.
Right. Okay.
And then hold on, let me look at it.
Hold on, let me get my
There's
device.
more.
My device.
This one's a screamer.
I'm gonna use level 2 Divine Smite.
Jesus Christ, Zach.
Let me.
But
My
wait,
guy.
There's more.
Yeah. Where did I put Divine Smite? Why is it not in here?
Dear
Okay,
Lord.
I gotta look this up. Sorry. I thought I had it in here. I didn't.
This is what I picture when you cast Divine Smite.
I was really fucking worried in that encounter, or that RP encounter, that they were gonna ask me my fucking CO, my commanding officer's name. I was gonna be like, oh shit, well.
Alright, Divine Smite. Cool.
Shit.
You know what? I don't have one, actually.
Alright, fine. Alright. It's 3d8.
You roll 3 and a 1 for the first damage, and a 10 and a 12 for that. Oh!
Wow.
Vulcan be praised.
Vulcan be praised. Holy mother of fuck.
The
All
Halo
right.
theme is playing right now.
With your blade burning with your blade burning with Vulcan's holy fucking wrath and fire, you just carve a huge wound that cauterizes instantly across this chick. She screams in pain. Kieran, it's your turn.
Well,
Finish her.
I am going to attack the sorcerer.
Okay.
Yes, sorceress.
Thank you.
So I need to roll for initiative, which is 1d20
No, you
plus.
already rolled for initiative. You need to roll your attack.
Sorry, just see if I hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, your d20
That's
plus...
strength plus proficiency.
So 8.
Yeah, so
I think
8.
it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be 8.
You hit her.
You are maxed out, such as I am.
Finish her.
15, do I hit?
Yeah.
Oh boy. 3d8 plus 7. Oh!
Bringing the hammer down.
Yeah, you run down the hill and you drop your hammer, and her head explodes underneath your hammer. She's dead.
Just the watermelon mist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
I run forth Sacred Flame, and
Can I extra attack the officer?
yeah, you can if you want. He failed the
Yep.
Sacred Flame throw anyway, so go ahead.
Yeah, you have to roll to see if you hit again, but...
Yeah.
One sec. I need to. You missed him.
No, it's 15, isn't it? That's a...
You run after exploding her head. You hear him just growl in anger, and you run forward and you swing your hammer, and he just pulls over his greatsword and effortlessly parries your hammer away.
Damn, he showed me his wiener.
He's not even
size.
phased that we literally exploded the sorceress's
He's
head.
just like,
No, little
you know
do
what?
we know,
Our
he
Dane
is the
Isfan's
true
Holy
god.
war, God bless.
But he failed his Sacred Flame and takes 8 damage from it.
He's Istvan himself.
We're
Siegfried
fighting JRPG.
God.
We're fighting God.
shouts, "For Caliban and for Cadia!" and he runs down with his halberd in tow. And he slashes down and misses. He slashes his halberd down, and he just, after effortlessly turning aside the warhammer, he just holds his greatsword out to the side and blocks Siegfried's halberd.
This guy's good.
Drock runs down the hill, his obsidian sword in tow, and he shouts, "Vulcan's fire!" and he swings his lawn sword down at him. And after parrying Siegfried's halberd, Drock runs forward and he attempts to thrust the blade, and he catches the blade and throws it back at Drock and throws him backwards.
Dude, this officer's unreal.
In a language that only you understand, Sarah. Oh, you two understand it, Winkums.
Yeah.
You watch the officer twirl his blade around, and he shouts, "Feel Istvan's holy wrath!" And you watch as his blade turns blood red, and he swipes at Winkums with his blade. Oh boy. Ooh, but Winkums, you see it coming, and you block the blow with your shield. Okay.
Is it Eric's turn yet?
No. Averland shouts out. Averland shouts out, "For the paladin!" And he charges down the hill. And again, Siegfried yells at him, "Be careful, boy, he's strong." And Averland, invigorated by Siegfried's words, attempts to stab him. But he just turns his great sword and he swipes at Averland, and Averland has to block with his shield, so he's unable to attack. Endervin, it's your turn.
Hi. Okay, let's see. I have 30 feet of movement, which means I can only move. Okay, I'm gonna move up. I'm 50 feet away. I'm gonna move up 15 feet to the big guy. I'm gonna attack him.
All right.
Excellent point.
15.
You run forward and you thrust your rapier, and he just parries it aside, and he shouts out again in Istvanian, "Istvan protects me, you heretics."
Sweet. So I was expecting that. I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage 15 feet backwards so he can't hit me anymore.
You dodge backwards. As he's literally standing in like a circle of you all, and he's just twirling his blade left and right, blocking your blows with each
We're in a
strike.
goddamn Avengers circle, and we can't hit this guy.
It's fucking Thanos!
Saris, you're up.
You took everything from me.
Let's see.
Shout to the disengage action. That's the first time I ever used it.
It's no. What kind of armor is the big guy wearing?
You asking if it's metal?
Essentially.
He's wearing pitch black like metal armor. It looks like, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, here it comes.
I don't know if I want to do that though.
Eric, is it your turn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I've got a great idea for you. You don't come out of hiding, and you step into the fray, and you say, "Guys, have mercy on his soul." And we all stop, and we're like, we use him. We use him as an asset instead of killing him. What
That's
do
a
you think
lot of
that?
checks that I did not pass
That is many
before.
checks.
I'm going to.
Do it.
Do
it, I dare you. I dare you to do it.
I really don't want to. I feel bad using it.
I dare you to do it.
All's fair in love and war.
What are you doing?
Fine. I cast heat metal on his.
Yeah!
What is that?
2d8 fire damage, or I think that's what they take initially, and then their turn they can either make a Constitution saving throw to withstand it, or take off the armor altogether.
Okay. So he takes
So-
2d8.
2d8
His armor turns fucking fiery red.
That's a.
Is it hot in
10,
here?
10-4.
You watch as the armor heats up, and he shouts, "You damned traitor!" And he looks towards you.
It's just shrug. Yeah, I was gonna say. You know. Forgive me for that much yabba dabba doo, said Geffen.
Winkums, it's your turn.
Eric, you should have said Magnus sends his regards.
As I
Let's confuse. Tell your gods they're dead too.
I'm attack him.
All right.
Oh.
You
Oh,
run.
God.
You run forward with your longsword and you swipe. And even while burning, he just knocks aside your blow with his plate armor. It hits like his arm, and it just parries right off of
I'm
it.
just glad it wasn't a nat 1. I don't need to lose my sword again.
He's so goddamn focused.
Kieran, you're up.
I found out that picking up and dropping weapons is actually a free action. You just have to do it before. I think it'll probably be part of your movement because it'll like fly away.
I'm gonna attack. 1d20 plus 7.
That was 8.
Right?
Yep.
Oh, that was 8.
Oh, it's 8. No, 1d20
It's
plus 8,
8,
yeah.
Yeah, proficiency plus your strength.
Whoops. Oh, wow, you can just press enter and it does your roll again. Cool.
Yeah. Well, I have the reroll thing. Have you not done that before?
Did I roll?
No, you didn't.
Haven't
No.
seen it.
Is
see
it
anything for you.
1d8 plus, or 1d20 plus 8?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Here you just killed a guy. Come on, man.
You run forward, and he gets his greatsword up, and it hits. You hit your hammer off of it, and it just like bounces off. Like you know how when you hit a baseball too hard, you get that fucking stinging in your hands. That's what it feels like.
Damn.
It's reverberating.
Ursula steps up and she shouts, "Sacred
it.
Flame!" And he has to make a dex
Do it.
saving throw, and he fails, so he takes 2d8.
He's a little chunky boy.
As radiant flames come down and burn him.
That's decent.
He's burning multiple times from multiple sources.
Lots of fire today in this session. You want me to cast Firebolt?
Siegfried shouts, "Just fall, damn you!" And he attempts to swipe at him with his halberd.
Do it, Siegfried. Make us proud.
And this guy is just tanking it. The halberd hits him in his pauldron.
Best.
It just hits him in his pauldron, and it like glances off to the side. Drock runs forward and says, "Into the fires of battle!" And he thrusts with his longsword. And he just blows it aside.
This is goddamn Virgil 2.
Alright, so Constitution saving throw.
Is there DC 15?
No, motive.
He shouts to the skies. He says, "Istvan, bless me with your relief." And you see a light shine down upon him, and he gets to roll this at advantage.
Oh shit.
And he just weathers the flame.
Who joined?
It's
Jacob
me,
Foster
bitch.
joined the party.
So he takes how much more damage?
I think if they resist the Constitution, I think it just stops.
Oh.
Let me look again. If the creature's holding or wearing the object and takes a damage from it, make succeed on a Constitution throw or drop the object if it can. If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks to the next turn. So I think I'm assuming if the Constitution save throw works for them, it just stops.
Okay.
They don't take damage, but they have disadvantage. Is that how that works?
Till the next turn? Yeah.
Let me just reread it. Hold on.
Does he have disadvantage on his attack because it wasn't his sword, or like what?
Holding or wearing the object and takes damage from it, the creature must succeed on a Constitution saving throw or drop the object if it can.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't drop the object, it has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks until the start of the next turn.
Okay, so he'll have disadvantage on this one.
Yes. Sounds right. Neat.
Okay. He turns his eyes towards you, Saris.
Hey.
And he shouts, "You dare to take Istvan's name!" And he swings his greatsword at you, but he's still in some pain. He is in pain,
Come on.
and he's just gonna miss no matter what. So
Oh.
No matter
Oh, I
what.
didn't see the roll. Okay.
Yeah, you rolled 12.
Averland shouts
I
out
targeted that much.
one more time
Avalon, get together, man.
for the paladin.
Averland.
And
Tally marks your
Siegfried
armor.
says, "Damn it, boy, I'm gonna make you do push-ups if you miss this last one." And Averland, with Siegfried's encouragement, steps forward. And he hits it!
Let's go!
Averland is the first one to hit. Besides the flames. Okay.
The sacred flames and the heat metal have done damage.
Okay. I think this is the first time Averlin's hit in like 4 sessions, not gonna lie.
Something
I
like
did hit
that.
the wyvern. Know that.
He also has been down multiple times.
Yeah. Although we're fighting the lizard folk the first time, him and Siegfried like went back
He
to back
does
and
10
started
damage! Go, Averlin,
slaughtering
go!
Yay! Yay, Averlin.
He runs forward and his longsword finds a joint in the armor and he sticks him in the ribs and he pulls his longsword out, blood seeping from it. Endervin, it's your turn.
Okay, I got 30 feet of movement. I'm gonna move up 15 feet. I'm gonna go for a swing here.
Do it.
21.
You hit.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I got a new rapier. 2d10 plus my index, which is 5. 10, and then I'm gonna do sneak attack damage because we're in a circle around him.
You did 10 damage to him?
Yeah, and I'm gonna do a
I
sneak
didn't see
attack because everyone. I'm assuming someone's within 5 feet of him right now.
Mm-hmm.
So 15 total, and then I'm gonna use my bonus action to disengage 15 feet back.
You run forward and stabby, stabby, stabby. You hit him like 3 times with your rapier and he's turning around, or he looks over his shoulder, but by the time he looks, you have already jumped back. Saris, it's your turn.
I guess I shrug and say, sorry, not sorry, Mr. Poopy Face. And I cast vicious mockery on him.
Hold on.
Okay.
Wisdom saving throw DC 15.
Okay.
Damn it, claw machine.
He fails.
Alrighty, disadvantage on next turn, and then a whopping, just a huge amount, a gargantuan amount of damage coming from this. 3. Let's go.
That's pretty good. All things considered.
It's a D4, so I'll take it.
Winkums, your turn. Actually,
Aw.
hold on before you go.
Okay.
He's dead. How do you want to explain it?
no.
Well, I'm glad you asked.
No.
I made him poop his pants.
Winkums, you step forward, and then you hear a voice in your head. And it says, "My champion, an ally approaches." And that's all it says.
Okay.
So anyways, I started stabbing.
Let's start blasting.
You swing your sword, and he parries the blow aside with his own. Kieran, you're up.
Hi, Kyle.
You swing your hammer, and he boots you in the chest a couple feet backwards when you are going through with this.
What do I need to hit this fucker?
Hey, I hit. Me and Averlin.
A sacred flame!
If you succeed, I'm killing myself.
He fails. This is getting ridiculous.
Slowly but surely, we will get him.
This is just ridiculous.
The amount of times we're missing, yeah, it is.
He's too powerful.
Siegfried shouts
Meanwhile, the
out.
sorcerer lasted about, I don't know, 5 seconds.
My counterspell ready to go too, just in case. but-
Siegfried shouts out. Just fucking die! And he swings his helmet.
Fucking
Finally!
yay!
Tell your gods they'll be dead soon.
Siegfried, in a flurry of blows, brings his axe down, and as he hits the poor sod, he pulls his axe back and he thrusts twice. So he's doing his special ability here. First off,
End it, Siegfried.
not plus 72. Halberd, axe hits, is 19.
Ooh.
Well, I gotta write this in order. Oh boy. We might be getting near the end here, boys. And then he does an extra. Two.
Counting 2.
And we have to do this. He's bleeding.
Yeah.
For how many?
Blade, brother.
How many turns? 6 fucking turns.
That's a deep one.
And this turn,
Easy enough.
he takes 1 damage. With a flurry of blows, Siegfried brings his axe down and chops deep, and then he thrusts once, twice, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and now the guy is just bleeding from multiple wounds. Drock says for Vulcan, and misses.
Doc says hello.
So he's at disadvantage, right, Eric?
There's
Yes.
mockery. B.
Okay. For Istvan, and he swings his sword at you again, Saris.
But he better miss. I'm gonna be upset.
And he misses.
Yeah, that was good.
Very nice.
Andrew, it's your turn.
Hi. you know the drill. I'm 15 feet up. Going in for the attack. 20.
You hit.
Okay. 2d10 plus 5. Okay, roll a d10. Come on. 18 plus my sneak attack damage. 29.
29
Jeez.
total. You run forth, and you are stabbing him, and you are stabbing him, and you are stabbing him, and he's going down. He's sitting, and he's trying to get his sword up, and you go, and you keep stabbing him over and over and over again, and he falls to the ground dead.
Let's go.
And from the top of the hill, after this combat's over, you hear clapping.
Hey, look, it's my
I look
friend.
towards the top of the hill.
I'm gonna take this time right now to say I cancel my spells that were going before.
You
I look to the
do not
top
wanna
of the
look
hill.
like I
You
do not
turn
wanna
back
look
into
like
Saris.
Nisranian.
At
I
the,
look to the top of the hill, but like my finger gun is readied.
you look up at the top of the hill, and you see a dwarf clad in emerald green scaled armor. And he's got a hammer sitting next to him, just kind of like leaning up against his ribs, and he's just clapping. And he holds his arms out wide, and he says, "Bring me the champion of Vulcan amongst your group."
That's me.
What?
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Who are you?
He laughs and he says, "Who am I?"
It's my friend.
He says, "I am Torgrim the Pious, ascended of Vulcan."
Who?
Oh. He's
And-
Torgrim. What do you mean?
He removes
Right.
he removes his helmet, and he's walking down the hill now with his hammer in tow. And when he gets close, you are utterly shocked at what you see. Underneath this helmet, this dwarven face with the big beard, his beard is fiery red, but his face is pitch black, coal black, and his eyes are glowing red as well.
Very nice. I am
Oh, shit.
shook. I am just like,
You want only him, or can like his friends and stuff come along too?
we are allies of the champion of Vulcan.
We're allies from the west.
Oh, we are. No, he's right.
He laughs and he nods his head and he says, "Oh, I know. Vulcan he sent me out here to retrieve you all."
Right.
Wait,
What?
He
What do you mean?
sent-
He sent us out here to get here.
No. He sent you. Like, he was like, hey.
Yeah, no. Wait. What do you mean? You seen Vulcan?
He gives a big toothy smile, and you see that all of his teeth have been filed down to look like a salamander's teeth.
That's disgusting. You didn't have to say that.
That's really gross.
It would have
Awesome.
taken no effort for you to not say that.
He smiles and he nods and he says, "The great Vulcan was a little worried that the chaff out here might give you some trouble. But
we good.
He nods and he laughs. He says, "But I see you are champion indeed." And he looks and he spits over at the Istvanian body. At these words, you see Drock step forward, and he says, "How dare you speak such blasphemy? You dare say that you've seen Vulcan?" And the dwarf looks over at him, and his eyes seem to glow even brighter, and he says, "Oh yes, boy. I am one of his servants."
Oh, shit.
Wow.
You're telling me that you talked to the guy himself.
Ansel
Big one upstairs.
lumbers on over from the other side of the hill now.
Oh no.
Okay, so if you came here to make sure that we arrived at Vulcan, what about Captain Ironbane? How about him?
Why does there go so much goddamn stuff in our way?
Oh no, not Captain Ironbane. Fucking that's
Talking about the
that's
psychopath guy?
That's the
Yes.
Is that Captain Ironbane?
Yeah.
Okay. I had my notes mixed up. Sorry.
Yeah.
He nods his head, and he says, "Oh, don't worry. Kel has been dispatched to deal with the chaff in Ironbane's way."
Who? Who's Kel?
So, are you a psych?
Who's Kel?
Does he have oh no, his eyes are red. Excuse me. Never mind.
Who's Kel?
That's another servant.
Is he another ascendant?
He nods his head.
You telling me you guys have been here this whole time? You didn't come to get us? Earlier?
He wags his finger and he says, "Oh, we've been needed at the mountain for quite some time. Years, as a matter of fact."
What?
He nods and says, "Well, who else do you think was stemming the tide of the lizard folk?"
You telling me
Just-
Vulcan
How many
walked
of
off
those-
into the
how many
east to kill the
descendants-
lizard folk?
How many descendants are there?
Good question.
5 in total.
And the 5 of you have been holding back all the lizard folk?
With Vulcan's help, of course.
Oh my, okay.
But he shakes his head and he says, "The lizard folk were merely a nuisance. The true threat lies inside the mountain."
The what? What do you mean a true threat?
Vulcan will explain.
What? What?
Where? My boy.
Where's
Like-
Vulcan?
Mr. Winkums, how does it feel?
Never felt better, man.
Is everything you
Going
ever
to
hoped
Disney
for?
World, says Winkums.
I haven't seen my dad yet, but
Are you
will
ready?
soon here.
Let's go.
Go!
Where's
Well, shit.
Vulcan? Is he
I guess
close?
we
Is he
go-
nearby?
He nods his head. "Vulcan waits inside the mountain for you, Winkums. But you may bring your friends."
Better.
And he holds up a hand, and he closes his eyes for a second. And you see his arms grow ethereal flames, and 2 ethereal wings appear outside of it, behind his back.
Right?
And he says, "Wait but a moment. There's still some chaff behind us."
What?
And he dons his helmet, and he holds his hammer aloft. And Ansel is now shocked looking at this. And he ascends the hill, and he goes back down the hill. And you see a great red light, for the briefest of seconds, fire into the sky. And you hear screams. And after a moment passes, he comes back up the hill, and he removes his helmet, ethereal wings and flames gone, and he says, "Okay, now we can go to the mountain."
How far is the mountain from here?
It's a little bit less than half a mile.
Okay, what did you just do?
Were saying something about a psych.
What did you
in the
just
area?
do?
Are they talking about? Are they talking about you?
He rolls his eyes, and he says, "I assume they think I'm but a mere psych."
Oh. What did you just... Okay, it looks like the thing that our buddy here can do, but on steroids. What was that?
He nods his head, and he says, "Champions of Vulcan, as Mr. Winkham's over here is, have but a mere fraction of his power flowing in their veins.
Right.
I have been given a full part of Vulcan inside of me.
Oh. Why is that?
I have served Vulcan faithfully for over 100 years."
What?
He nods.
100 years?
He nods his head and he says, "Yes, I stood alongside Vulcan in the last Istvanian War over 100 years ago. That is why I am the pious. I am the longest serving alongside him."
Damn.
So you're his right-hand man. And he sent you to get us.
He nods his head and he looks at Winkham's and the rest of you and he says, "Oh yes, Vulcan will explain everything, but your fate and your destiny could change Cadia forever."
Right. So if you're a second in command, and Vulcan's the big guy, that makes this guy over here, and not at Winkham's, the VIP, right?
He nods his head and he says, "Yes, for Winkham's can do something that we cannot."
What is that?
I'm sure Vulcan will explain, buddy.
Vulcan will explain.
Well, is there any way for us to get to Vulcan quicker? Could you get us wings for a little bit, or can I borrow a little bit? A juice?
He shakes his head no, and he says, "Like the dwarves and the dragonborn of old, we will walk to the world's edge mountains, just as they
That's not
walked
very godly.
from the mountains to the glasslands."
I suppose. Well,
Saddle up, partner. Let's
when
go.
he was talking, I guess let's go.
He redons his helmet, and he says back, "Oh, don't worry about the chaff. The other 3 will be here very soon to take care of them."
There's 4 of you.
5.
What?
He said that earlier.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Listen, man.
I was listening. I thought he said there was only another one.
Mm-mm. That man's the longest serving one.
Oh Lord. Well, I mean,
Which I'm glad we didn't make an enemy of him, because...
you have the wings. Lead the way.
He walks down the other side of the hill. You hear Siegfried invoke, he says, "Oh, by the paladin." I've never seen anything like that.
Goddamn angel boy over here.
Drock is just speechless. He's not saying a damn thing. And
Nice Drock, and I go, see, look, that's why you should listen to me.
he's just kind of shaking his head. He says, "It's blasphemy."
Well, we'll find out soon enough.
So you're following him?
Yeah.
You follow Torgrim through the valley, and seemingly it's like the wave, like a great partitioning of like a wave like going through whatever. He parts the waves like fucking Moses, and he leads you through. You are not assailed by anybody, and you make it out of the valley. And now, before you stands a single lone mountain. And at the base of this mountain, you see a great arch with an obsidian door. And standing at the door, you see a giant dragonborn clad in emerald armor. And he removes his helmet. And Torgrim speaks up and he says, "Unva, how goes the battle in the valley?" And the Dragonborn, you see, is pitch black, like a fire drake. But his eyes are also glowing red. And he smiles and he says, "Oh, Kel is having a fun time indeed out there." And Torgrim gives a great big laugh, and he says, "And Ungrim and Haust?" And he says, "Oh yes, Ungrim is breaking the lizard folks that managed to escape the mountain earlier. Haust is having some fun with the Estvanians out there as we speak." And Torgrim smiles, and he nods, and he says, "I have brought Winkums, the champion." "Winkums, step forth, please," Torgrim says.
Okay.
You step forward, and Unva steps forward to you, and he looks you up and down, and he nods, and he smiles, and he holds out a hand to you, Winkums, and he says, "Welcome, brother."
It's a pleasure to be here, brother.
And he grasps your forearm.
Come on, brother.
And he nods his head, and he says, "All right, well, Vulcan isn't the most patient, so we should get inside."
Alright. Exactly the way, man.
I don't know where I'm going. I'll go in, but I don't know where I'm going in here.
He steps forward, and he draws a great obsidian blade from a sheath on his armor, and he presses his hand against the obsidian door, and he he sticks the obsidian blade against the door, and he thrusts it through, and he turns it, and the door opens.
It's like a key.
Whoa.
That's spooky.
And Torgrim approaches you all, and he says, "You may enter. Me and Unva are going to finish up everything out here, and then myself and the rest of the Ascendant will join you after you have talked with Vulcan."
Okie dokie.
You're about to meet your demigod, and the thing you're saying is okie dokie.
That's what I'm saying.
Winkums is nervous, man.
The man of few words. He's just like,
Ahead of you,
I'm afraid.
ahead of you lies a giant tunnel that's been hollowed out.
Right.
It is pitch black on the inside. And Torgrim says, go to the central dais. He will be waiting for you there." And he gives you a big old smile, and he turns, and he looks, and he says, "And as for the rest of you, listen closely to what he has to say. Very few have heard him speak." This is not an opportunity that should be wasted.
Sounds good.
I'm scared, man.
Duly noted.
I do that thing that the Iron Fire Drakes do, where they put their fist up to their chest.
You're not an Iron or Fire Drake, though.
I know.
He chuckles.
Neither is he.
I know. It's a courtesy.
These guys are just whoop our ass and we like piss them off.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Literal, you know.
How big is that guy that's at the door? I forget it. Ungren?
Unva.
Anva? How big is he? Because you said he was big.
Yeah, he's about 8 feet tall.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Oh my goodness.
The
Eat
dwarf.
me.
The dwarf is tall for a dwarf. He's over 5 feet tall.
Damn.
So is it like, is he proportioned or is like his legs just really fucking
No,
long?
he's proportioned.
He's got the long cat body. What are you
he's
talking about,
he's
man?
proportioned. You would if he didn't have the great beard and the stocky build, you would have assumed he's like a short human.
Huh.
Okay, because
So I'm about level with the dwarf.
just makes me think of a human, or like a really short dwarf with really long
That
legs.
means he and I are about level.
What are you talking about, man?
Please stop
Alright.
ruining my awesome character descriptions.
Stupid. Continue. Let's keep going. Well, I saluted him as a courtesy. I saluted him. I don't know if he.
He chuckled.
Okay.
You all step inside. You hear Siegfried whispering under his breath. Every now and then you hear Paladin and Cadia under his breath. He's praying.
Siegfried's losing it.
And when you step inside, the Unva steps forward and he draws his blade, and it lights in ethereal flames, and you see ethereal wings appear off behind his back, and he just smiles as the door closes behind you all.
Right.
See, the smiling like from the guys makes me uneasy.
Yeah, well,
They're
they
just
could
happy
kill
we're
us.
here, man.
They could kill us instantaneously. so
Yeah,
it's
but
not
like
we're gonna...
they're so powerful, they just murder us instantly. So like
Yeah,
them
dude,
giving
it's like
off a
holding a
little
mouse in your
smile
hand.
kind of just like gives me this.
They're gonna hit us like
Assuming
Lenny.
If they wanted us dead, they'd fucking have murdered us. So like.
Yes.
Well,
let's keep
yeah,
walking,
I'm just
then.
saying, it just makes me uneasy. Yeah, we'll keep going.
Mm-hmm.
You walk down the tunnel, and you come to, or you're walking for quite a while. You'd say probably about 5-10 minutes, and then all of a sudden the tunnel opens up, and you see around a massive circle that stretches just as pretty much as far as the eye can see. Just torches and torches and torches. It lights up a central area made out of obsidian glass. Perfectly smooth obsidian glass.
Right.
And then if you look up, it stretches so high into the sky, you can't see the roof because it's so dark from up above that the torches, they don't light up the upper reaches of this place.
Okay.
And you hear Private Drock say, "Oh, by Vulcan," as he's looking all around. And you hear, "Yes, Drock, by Vulcan."
Oh shit!
From up above. And with a great whoosh of wings, a giant black dragonborn crashes down from the ceiling and hits this smooth obsidian and sends a shockwave throughout the central area. And he stands up straight, and you take in his full might. He stands over 13 feet tall, and his wings stretch out past that even, and they fold back behind him. and he's holding a giant sword in one hand, and the sword lights in ethereal flames. He looks like this.
Oh no!
waiting
I'm
for the
sweating.
picture.
I'm so excited.
You say he's 13 feet tall?
Yes.
So he's 8 feet taller than me, so I'm kind of looking at him.
I'm so excited. I was waiting for it. Though,
My neck
he
is
looks like
craned.
this.
There he is.
Oh my!
Oh,
It's the
God.
boy.
Look at him.
It's the
Huge.
boy.
Mighty.
The flames go out
boy.
on his sword, and he plants it into the obsidian right next to him. Private Drock goes down to his knees, and then he puts his head to the obsidian. And you see Siegfried take a knee down, and he's got his hand up to his mouth, and he's barely holding himself up with his halberd. And Averlin goes down to both of his knees, and he puts his fist into his hand, and he's praying, and you hear him, "Oh, by Cadia, oh, by the Paladin."
I dropped to a knee as well.
As do I.
I dropped to a knee, but I'm kind of smirking.
Why?
Anzel
I'm just a happy camper.
Anzel isn't even going into wolf form. He just kind of sits down and he's looking at him. And he speaks and he says, "Rise."
Oh, okay, I stand up then.
Well, I rise then.
And he says, "I am Vulcan, the last living flame. I am a sword arm of Cadia themself."
Right.
And
Nice to meet you.
he holds his arm out and he says, "Winkham, step forth."
I point at
I like
myself.
nudge Winkums.
I point at
Yeah,
myself
fucking-
and look around like, who,
I
me?
know, but I'm just like fucking go.
Pat him on the back, push him forward a little bit.
Alright, I'll step forward.
I'm like pushing him forward and shoving him a little bit.
He looks down at you, Winkums, and he says, "You are my final champion, Winkums. The only one that I will ever have again.
Holy shit.
God.
It is not your fate to join my Ascended.
Woo.
It is your destiny to help me save Cadia."
Woo.
Are you gonna say anything?
I'm flabbergasted. I'm just like a little kid with his mouth wide open, like, ooh, looking at him.
He rests his hand on his sword, and he says, "The rest of you gather round, for your fate and your destiny is intertwined with Cadia itself as well."
Okay.
I've got a whole speech.
You ready? Let's go.
Alright. I've got time, I can do this.
I have a dream.
He says, "You all know the story of Cadia, of the Istvanian heresy. How myself, Grimnir, Tanith, and Caliban came to be. Correct?"
Mm-hmm.
What you've been told is only mostly true. 1,000 years ago, myself, my brothers, Grimnir and Istvan, and my sisters, Caliban and Tanith, were brought into the world by Cadia to help its peoples fight a great darkness that was descending upon the land. Cadia created myself and my siblings from their own flesh and soul. Cadia compelled us to march our peoples to what is now known as Cas Arcadia, in what was seen as a great war that had torn all of the lands asunder, but in reality was their way to unite the lands, to prepare us for the coming darkness. Dark gods whispering promises of power and wealth scratched at the minds of the mortals of this world. Cadia believed we could stand against it, with us, his children, marching forth. The generals of his great crusade, her greatest sons and daughters. For years, we built up this land, raised up its people, united the lands without ever telling them of the coming darkness. We thought we were prepared and ready for anything. We were not prepared for one of our own to turn against us. Our greatest brother, second only to Cadia themselves, Istvan, was corrupted by the dark gods. He rose his own people up against us, turned traitors amongst our own kind, yes, not just humans, dragonborn, dwarves, elves, the peoples of the north, all rebelled against Cadia. We fought the Istvanian heresy. We fought brother against brother, sister against sister, father and son, mother and daughter alike, in the bloodiest and now most covered up battle in Cadian history. We put the blame on Istvan's humans in a last bid to keep the lands united after the war. I fell 3 times in that war to Istvan's blade. Caliban, even greater than I, the shield of Cadia, was brought low by his blade. Tanith, betrayed by the one she loved most. Grimnir, tearing through rank after rank of Istvanians, was swamped and unable to come to Cadia's aid. In a last bid to try to save their grand dream, Cadia did the unthinkable. They attempted to obliterate Istvan's soul, the very soul they had created. A small sliver managed to escape. The dark gods struck against Cadia while they did so, and brought Cadia low. That is the true story of Istvan's heresy. He holds up a hand. Before you speak, know this. My brother Istvan, his soul survived, and it has regathered strength. Istvan seeks to bring himself back into this world. Istvan seeks to finish the job that was denied him 1,000 years ago. I learned of this 100 years ago. I exiled myself for reasons I will get to in a moment. However, each of you has a part to play in what's to come. What I'm about to tell you is going to shake the very foundations of Cadia itself. For as my brother Istvan lives, so too do my sisters Caliban and Tanith, and does my brother Grimnir yet live. And they can be brought back and awakened, if only for a short amount of time, to face the coming darkness. At this, Siegfried faints.
Oh no! Holy shit.
And Drock has tears coming down his eyes, and Averlin's just kind of looking around like, what the
This is
fuck?
real life.
Touching his face.
Am I alive?
He says this, and then you start to notice that Vulcan is shaking a little bit. And after a moment, he goes down to one knee, and he looks at you all, and he says, "My power has weakened over the last 100 years. My living flame, the curse that I bear to be the last living being at the end of time, is darkening. The dark forces of the other planes have gathered enough strength to weaken it. They will come soon. Already, they are at work in Tanith and the north. Their dark corruption has turned the hearts of our people yet again. In Caliban and Cadia, their fingers stretch, seeking to find purchase in some crack in the foundation. Cadia will not survive this war unless you can bring my siblings back, unless you can reawaken them." And then
Whatever you need, man. Whatever you need, man.
he nods and he says, "You must also prevent Istvan's reawakening. He requires 2 of 3 items to reawaken. The blade of Istvan that I hold in my possession right here, and why I exiled myself to these mountains. The blood of one who fell the day Cadia fell. That would be Caliban, or Cadia themselves. And 3, the body of Istvan, forever entombed underneath Cadia."
So, do we just take those items and give them to you? How does that work?
He shakes his head and he says, "We come to the final piece of this play. The one thing that I did not see coming. Istvan's plan." And he turns around and he flicks, or he snaps his thumb, or he snaps his fingers, and you see a great gate appear out of the shadows. And it lights up with magical energies. And he turns back and he says, These gates. The Istvanians know how to use them. With them, they can strike at the very heart of Cadia itself.
Okay.
He says, already in Tanith and the north, disappearances of psychs are rising. The sacrifice of but 10 psychs is enough to open one of these gates.
Okay. Right.
Jeez.
So how do we stop these psychs from getting kidnapped?
He shakes his head and he says, I fear it is already too late. The corruption has spread deep in Tanith, in the north, and even in Caliban itself. When the Istvanians invaded, the first thing that they were going for were the psychs.
Right.
I cannot leave this place. I am much too weak, and I cannot risk both my blood and the blade of Istvan falling into enemy hands.
Right.
They cannot permanently kill me. Istvan could.
Correct. Okay.
I'm assuming that's why the spines are here. It's for your blade, or for the blade.
He nods his head, and he says, it is how they got here in the first place. I watched them sacrifice the 10 psychs to create the gate. There was nothing I could do.
Oh. Okay.
Who all knows this information of the psych and the gate links and the necessity
Good
to bring
question.
back the demigods? Who all knows about this?
Everyone here, plus my Ascended.
I'm assuming you like to keep it that way.
He nods. Says, should you meet Kassar Creed in your travels, tell him as well. Do not tell him about myself, however. The reemergence of Vulcan would shake Cadia to its core.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Vulcan, I have a question of you.
Yes.
So I and Wincomb's here we recently awoke to power, newfound magical power, uncontrollable even.
He nods.
It's fire based. I don't know if you would know anything about that, but we don't know where it came from.
He nods and he says, when my brother Grimnir fell, he was one of the greatest psychs to have ever lived. His death sent a magical shockwave throughout Cadia. It's when the psychs emerged. Just simple exposure to the psychs in these lands could be more than enough to awaken your powers, latent though they may be. As for Wincomb's, I have granted him but a fraction of my own power. However, the Ascended are like me. They cannot leave these lands, for they have too much of my power within them, and should they be taken, they would have my blood. One step towards bringing Istvan back. This is why, Wincomb's, you will not become one of my Ascended.
Okay.
Well, okay.
What is this threat in the mountain that your descendants mentioned? Is it the gate?
He nods his head.
Okay.
I have slew over a platoon of Istvanians already. And the lizard folk, they stumble into these gates and make their way into the mountain here. I am waiting for their queen. If I break her, the rest will scatter.
Loken, I recently, when I awoke, as I said, I encountered a vision of a man with red eyes, a dream of the night that my family was killed. And Winkham's had a similar vision, also with a man with red eyes. Would you happen to know anything about that?
Bits and pieces of my brother's soul, Istvan, still leaks into dreams here and there. I fear that he may have had a hand in your past, whether through possession or corruption.
Oh shit.
That's just our luck, man.
So you're telling me it's possible that Istvan killed my family?
I am sorry, but yes. Your fate
His as well.
Your fate and destiny has been intertwined with Cadia for longer than you could have even imagined.
My goodness.
So how do we stop that son of a bitch from getting resurrected?
That's pretty fucked that God/demigod killed our family and shit. Or did that
He
stuff? Well, I
nods.
killed my family, but...
Istvan was one of the was the second most powerful of my siblings. He had the gift of foresight. He could see into the future and change it if he did not like what he saw. Caliban was similar in a way, although she could only awaken to her powers in combat. But yes, as for bringing my siblings back, Caliban will be the easiest. There is a ritual that can be done. She will take time, however. Her wounds were too great. Her body has already healed most of them, but the killing blow, the one that pierced her heart, she requires a sacrifice.
A sacrifice? Of what kind?
One who is equal parts pious and also a psych.
I don't
Uh-oh.
find one of those.
For Tanith, I'm sorry, but your job will be difficult. She was brought low by the blade of her husband, Typhus, once upon a time known as Typhon. He betrayed her in the night. He was corrupted by Istvan. A last reminder that he can always strike, no matter how long it's been. Her death is what brought the eternal twilight upon Tanith. Should you bring her back, I suspect that veil will be lifted. You require Typhon's blade that brought her low. You must stab her with it after it has been blessed. I suspect Typhon... I'm sorry, he is now Typhus. I suspect Typhus is the one behind the undead that currently plagues Tanith.
We were told about that by Nadali. I don't know if you know of her.
He nods his head. Says, my sight is far and wide across Cadia. I know who she is.
Okay.
And he looks over at you, Kieran, and Ansel. He says, and as for you, devoted of Grimnir, the Club of Morgar and the heart of a frozen mountain are what is required to bring back my brother. Both can be found beyond the wall of Roos in the north.
Oh.
Well, Vulcan, it sounds like we got ourselves a regular globe-trotting adventure. How do you plan on helping us?
Wincombs may call upon my strength more often now, with less of these side effects.
Dude, I was tired of passing out.
And as for the rest of us?
I'm sorry. Information is all I can give for now. I have grown too weak over these past few years. However, Wincombs, be aware. Every time you use that power, you drain more from me.
That's duly noted.
Oof. Okay.
Do you have anything else you want to ask of me? Siegfried wakes up, by the way. He says, "Well, lads, in all my years, I'd never expected to meet a living demigod of Cadia. This has been quite the adventure indeed." And then he starts scratching his beard. And he looks over and he says, "Averland, stand up, boy." And Siegfried cautiously pushes himself up.
Well. Is there any way for us to reach you other than coming here? If we were to need you?
He nods his head and he says, "I will speak to Wincombs and maybe the rest of you every now and then. And I will allow you to reply this time. I could not risk it before. I do not wish for more to know my location. But time is of the essence now. I fear we only have a few months before Istvan will not even need the full ritual that he already requires."
Well, I am certainly shocked and spooked and all those other adjectives.
Yes.
Anything
What
else?
a turn of events.
None for me.
Kieran, do you have anything? You've just met a demigod of Cadia. All right.
Once again, we see Vulcan or see something from Vulcan and Timmy's not here.
Well, Ansel's here, but like,
Yeah. It's fine. Killed my family.
So now you really hate him, don't you?
Now I'm mad.
Now I'm angry. Ooh, I have a question for Vulcan.
Yes, my champion.
Your doorman mentioned that there's something I only could do and the Ascendants couldn't.
He nods and he says, "I explained. My ascendants cannot risk being captured, for their blood contains much of mine."
That's what they meant. Okay.
You are only a baby Vulcan.
Yeah. Some would say a hatchling.
Vulcan,
Yes.
is it within your power to grant some sort of blessing to any of us other than Winkums?
Ugh.
I know you are limited.
He nods his head and he says, I will impart some of my knowledge upon you all in the ways of war, trickery, and magics that I've known
Yes.
my whole life. And you have not all leveled up.
There it is.
Huge, massive.
Magical
Chef's
energies come out of his hand. And then you see a single black scale fall off of his arm and crash to the floor.
Nope. Stop.
And he looks
Stop
and
doing that.
he cocks his head and he says, I apologize. This body is failing me.
I can see that. Okay.
Anything else?
Yeah, I don't know.
I also don't. No.
Winkums or
I got nothing.
he nods and he grabs his blade and he stands up and he's in the middle of sheathing it when the magical portal behind him flares.
Oh,
And he turns around and he pulls the blade back out and holds it out wide. And coming forth from the portal, you see an army of lizard folk.
It's the queen.
Marching out in ranks. You see a line of 10, and it stretches back 10 ranks. Over 100 lizard folk march out. And from behind them, towering over them, standing 9 feet tall, you see a great lizard folk. She wears a giant headdress and has a great spear. And fire burns in one of her hands. And she yells out, the great demon, because you two can still comprehend this, the great demon that brought ruin to my people, you will fall. And she points her spear at Vulcan. And Vulcan turns to you all, and he says, may I ask one more thing of you all?
anything. Yeah.
Why, yes.
I arch my eyebrow.
Ethereal flames envelop his blade.
I like where this is going.
And he gives a big Vulcan smile. And he says, onto the anvil of war, my
Let's
champions.
go.
And he points his blade, and that's where we'll end.
Oh no! Shit. Oh
go.
no! Oh my